Okay. We've chit-chatted a little bit. We got our friends here, so we're going to go ahead and continue. We met up with Kat, our main character from It Lives in the Woods, from the last book here in Westchester. She kind of surprised us at the end. And Tom says, Kat, you made it! And Kat says, hey, Tom, sorry I'm late. I was off being mysterious. Tom and Kat hug and then turn to you. Dwight, Kat, Dwight. Trying mail on foreign affairs. Oh, you did? Kat says, what's up? I've heard a lot about you. Dwight says, likewise. The two of you shake hands. Tom says, hey, the others are over at the library. Should we go get them? And no, that's okay. We're going to catch up later tonight, Kat says. Besides, there's something I want to show you. Something the others don't know about yet. Yeah, why not? They're grown. And it might just help with what you're dealing with in Pine Springs. Kat turns and heads down the alley. You and Tom give one another a puzzled glance and then hurry after. You follow Kat out of town and into the woods. Hey, my spidey sense is tingling. Something fierce back here. Is it okay for us to be out here? We're almost there, Kat says. Tom says, yeah, that doesn't really answer my question. Kat glances over one shoulder and winks, walking faster. You quicken your pace to match, falling in step side by side. So Dwight says, hey, Kat, what's with the hood? Oh, just rocking the whole cool and mysterious look. Okay, but I've had some not-so-great experiences with mysterious people in hoods recently, so... Kat sighs, said Dwight. Okay, honestly, I got a bad haircut recently, but please keep that to yourself. At the edge of a clearing, Kat suddenly stops. Okay, it's just up ahead. Dwight says, you're not coming with us? You should see this on your own, but I'll be right here. You and Tom give each other a nod and then continue on. The clearing is quiet and surprisingly cold. Tom shudders, glancing around. Tom says, so now what? Maybe we should... Before you could finish your sentence, a strange sound begins to rise all around you, a chorus of whispering voices. Do you hear that? The wind howls, rising into a cyclone that whips around the clearing. Do you feel that? Dwight asks. Crows explode from the treetops, screaming off into the night. Tom says, what's going on? I wonder the real reason the It Lives in the Woods MC is in a hoodie. I know. A twig snaps somewhere close by. And at the edge of the clearing, the shadows begin to move, spilling across the ground, bleeding upwards into a shape that's tall and thin, and almost human. Oh, shoot! Is that who we think it is? Friends? Is that who we think it is? I think it is. We'll see what happens. Chapter 6, all hands on deck. Your heart pounds as a shadowy creature moves toward you, floating above the clearing. Tom says, holy crap! Dwight says, what is that thing? Friends. We have to stand our ground. Lights turned off and the music gave me chills. Nice. You instinctively put an arm in front of Tom, but hold your ground as the creature approaches. I'm not afraid of you. Afraid? The creature draws closer, head cocking curiously. Tom says, easy now. Dwight says, I don't think it wants to hurt us. Cat says, you're right. Cat steps out of the woods, hands in pockets, walking toward you. He doesn't want to hurt you or anyone. Not anymore. Cat strides past you and up to the creature, looking it in the eye. Why don't you tell them your name? Name? The creature pats itself as if looking for a lost pin. Come on, think really hard. I know you know it. The creature looks uncertain. It shudders, as if cold, and then suddenly straightens. You remember now? Yes! Cat steps aside and the creature floats forward. Name? My name is Noah. I didn't. Obviously. Cat, what is going on? I've been coming out here for a while now, helping him remember who he is and everything that happened. Tom says, are you saying? Yeah, Noah is still in there. Dwight says, this is unbelievable! Tom says, Dwight, you don't think that thing in the lake? Dwight says, I don't think it's the ghost of a dead high schooler. Tom, but it might still be a person. And if they're anything like Noah, Dwight says, some of that person might still be in there. Maybe if we could talk to it, we can get through to whoever's underneath. Hey, not to rain on the parade, Cat says, but a word from the wise. Talking to the monster didn't go so well for me the first time. Don't rush in blindly. Dwight says, true. Before we talk to it, we'd have to figure out why it's drowning people and convince it to stop long enough to listen to us. Tom says, well, how do we do that? I'm open to suggestions. By way of an answer, Noah swirls a claw through the air and a dark rectangular shape materializes in a gust of black smoke. It's a mysterious tome. What is this, some kind of spooky encyclopedia? Cat says, Noah, did you take this from Cora's? Noah nods happily and then pushes the book toward Tom. Here, for you, help. Tom tentatively takes the book and begins flipping through pages. Dwight says, well, what does it say? Tom says, I have no idea. Half of this seems like it's written in code, and the other half looks like poetry? Maybe recipes? Dwight says, I don't know many recipes that involve phases of the moon. Tom says, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. These look like spells. A crow caws somewhere nearby. Tom shivers with a sudden chill. He starts to close the book. Tom says, and now that I think about it, I don't know how much I want to mess with something like that. Take the occult tome. You'll gain a powerful spell that will help in the battles to come. Oh. Thanks, Eric. That's funny. Hey, KT. We're gonna leave it alone. We'd better not, Dwight says. Noah retracts the book, momentarily saddened. No? Sorry, we've got enough weird stuff to deal with as it is. Noah shrugs and the book disappears in a puff of black smoke. Noah is free! Yes. I'm playing Mass Effect Legendary. Very nice. So we didn't take the book. I know. We didn't take the book. You did get the occult tome. This fight might be really tough. We'll have to see at the end of all this. Tom checks the time on his phone. Hey, it's getting pretty late. We should probably head back. You leaving? Cat says, I'll be back again soon. Just hang in there a little while longer. Cat holds out an open hand, and Noah reaches for it, but his own hand passes straight through. Cat says, Noah, what you did, it's hard to forgive, but that doesn't mean you deserve to be trapped like this. Cat says, we'll figure this out, somehow. Noah stares at his hands. Somehow. Cat turns to you, and Tom. Tom, promise me you won't say anything to the others. Why not? They're not ready. They wouldn't understand. They still blame him for what happened, and they have every right to. But old grudges are what started all this in the first place, and the only way it can end is forgiveness. As night falls, you and Tom part ways with Noah and Cat, and then make your way back to the car. It's an hour before curfew by the time you make it back to Pine Springs. I keep wanting to say Palm Springs. I'm just used to that. It's like, wait, it's like, no, it's Pine Springs. Man, I don't know about you, but I'm wiped out. Today was heavy, Tom says. Dwight, yeah, I could use a good night's rest, or 12. You stretch in the passenger seat as Tom pulls up to a red light, drumming the steering wheel in time with the radio. Somebody's in a good mood. This one? Yeah, there's a lot of them. I want to say I remember it from the Royal Romance? Maybe? Or maybe it was Rules of Engagement? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Tom says, you know what? I am. I've been bashing my head against a brick wall for months. I was starting to think I was just on a wild goose chase. But now, we know what we're up against, and it finally feels like we're making some progress. Okay, I thought Rules of Engagement was one of them. I forgot about Most Wanted. I love that book, though. Most Wanted is so great. But now we know what we're up against, and it finally feels like we're making some progress, Tom says. You start to answer him when your cell phone buzzes. Dwight says, oh, hang on, Danny's texting me. Hey, are you and Tom back in town yet? Danny had texted. Yeah, I just got back. What's up? Parker and I found something while you were away. What? We're pretty sure we have a lead on the cult. Dwight texts back, nice! Danny texts, we're down at Hank's Wharf. You should come join us. On our way, Dwight texts back. Dwight says, hey, do you know where Hank's Wharf is? Danny and Parker want us to meet them there. Tom says, aye, aye, Captain. You and Tom make your way across town and head into a crowded sports bar. You didn't? Aw, well, that's okay. We can still be friends. Wow, so much for a curfew. It's packed in here, Dwight says. Tom says, it's a small town. This is the only sports bar, and the Gators are playing Houston tonight. We're lucky there are seats. Come on, I see Danny over here. Or over there. Making your way across the room, you and Tom slide into a booth opposite Parker and Danny. Danny says, hey, here they are. Parker says, oh, hey, how was your trip? Tom says, it was a long story. We'll fill you in later. Dwight, so what's up? You guys found something? Parker says, yeah, Danny and I did some digging while you were gone, and I think we have an angle on the owner of Tom's mysterious yacht. Tom says, whoa, seriously? What did you find? Parker says, a ship down at Pier 17 that matches the one you described. Did you search the ship? Dwight asks. Danny says, I wanted to sneak aboard, but someone wouldn't let me. Someone is a cop, Parker says. Danny says, someone is a square. And she makes an L7 motion to show he's a square. So, what did you do? Tom asks. Parker says, well, we know the cultists had their boat out that night. You saw it on the lake. But there are certain things they would have had to do first. Danny says, right, even cultists have to kick their tires, or whatever the boat version is. Which means one of them would have had to visit that pier earlier on that day. Tom says, hey, smart thinking. Parker says, thanks. Anyway, I talked to my buddy who works security at the marina, and persuaded him to let us look at the camera footage. It's called bribery, Parker. You did bribery. Own it. Parker says, shh, keep your voice down. Do you want to get me fired? Dwight says, so did you find any footage from that night? Parker says, no, half of those cameras are older than I am. They're useless in the dark. Because puns. But we did put together a list of suspects from people who passed the Pier 17 guard station on the day Tom saw that yacht. I do love a good pun. Danny says, and now we've whittled it down to 3, and they all just so happen to be here tonight. Why here? Is this like a secret cult hideout? I don't know about that, but it's definitely a hot spot for dudes who own boats. And polo shirts, Tom says. Oh, because sea fisher. That's a good one. Dwight says, okay, so who are our suspects? Parker nods, pointing out a handful of individuals throughout the bar. We'll ask about suspect number 1. Tell me about Grumpy over there, Dwight asks. Or Dwight says. Parker says, that's Bill Barnes. He works down at the marina scrubbing boats and other odd jobs. And Danny says, is he as mean as he looks? No way, I know Bill, Tom says. We run into each other at the bakery all the time. He's super nice. Danny says, yeah, but working at the marina puts him in a pretty good position to keep his secret murder yacht on the down low. Parker says, if I had to take a guess, I'd say he's our guy. Dwight says, interesting. You take another look around. And ask about suspect 2. Tell me about that one. So, that's Jen Liu. She's assistant DA for the county, but I don't really think she's the cult type. Danny says, right, because how could someone who works for the law ever be bad? Parker says, that's not what I meant. It's just, Jen is so busy. One time I saw her take a deposition on the phone, on a treadmill, while doing her makeup. Tom says, sounds like the kind of person who could be useful to a cult, especially when it comes to making murders disappear. Oh, that thought his name was funny because it was Kennedy Monroe. I named mine after other presidents. Personally, I think it's her, Tom says. Dwight says, noted. You take another look around and ask about suspect 3, a man in a black suit and a neat pocket square. Who's this one? Daddy says, oh, barf, don't get me started on him. That's Richard Sutcliffe. Dwight says, sounds like you're not a fan. Daddy says, he's a creep. One of those guys who's rich, but not that rich, so he's all slimy and insecure about it. Also, I'm pretty sure he's got a thing for me. He's always coming into the coffee shop and getting way too chatty in line. Yeah, the humor in Queen Bee was very good. Very, very good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that book way more than I thought I would. I didn't think I wasn't going to enjoy it. I was just thinking, maybe that's not my kind of book. but my friends, convinced me to go ahead and play it, and I ended up loving it. Parker says, I have heard Richard throws some pretty strange parties at that mansion of his. Hey, Yaz. Yeah, rich, but not that rich. Yeah, I know. I know it. Yeah, he invited me to one. Some art auction thing happening tomorrow. Tried to convince me to sell some of my photos. As if I'd ever be caught dead hawking my work at some bougie cocktail party for one-percenters. If you want my opinion, Richard is definitely our guy. Tom says, I mean, is that it? Gut feeling? That's not exactly solid evidence. Parker says, I don't know about Richard, but gut feelings shouldn't be discounted. Sometimes they tell you where to start looking. Dwight says, good point. Parker, so Dwight, what do you think it is? Let's see. I think the cultist is Jin Liu. Okay, then we should go talk to her and see where she was on the night that... Parker suddenly frowns. What's up? I'm an idiot, that's what. I just remembered Jen has an alibi for that night. Police charity dinner. Her whole office was there. Tom says, well, so much for that. Danny says, that leaves Bill and Richard. And of the two of them, I think Richard is definitely a better suspect. Parker says, okay, but we need proof before we do anything hasty. Danny, you should go feel him out. Danny says, I should what? I mean, go talk to him. Why me? I can't stand the guy. Yeah, but he likes you, which gives us an advantage. True, and I do enjoy knocking rich jerks down a peg. No way I'm talking to that creep alone, though. Dwight, come be my backup? Of course. Great. But let's hit the bar and get some drinks first. Good idea. It'll help you blend in. Danny says, yeah, that too. You and Danny head to the bar and order drinks. As you wait, Danny rummages in her purse, mumbling grumpily to herself. Is this Richard guy really that bad? Dwight asks. And Danny says, he's worse. If you look up the word smarmy in the dictionary, his picture is there. And it talks. And it won't shut up about Bitcoin. Dwight says, sounds like we're really gonna need these then. You lean against the bar and wait for your drinks. Spot something glinting from amongst the cocktail shakers and olive jars. It's another message in a bottle. That doesn't look like it belongs here. You glance around. No one seems to be looking your way. I bet I could reach over and grab it. You reach behind the bar and grab the message bottle, yanking it out of sight before anyone notices. Dwight says, got it. Or he thinks got it. Uncorking the bottle, you pull the message out and read. I don't know. I think somebody would know, though. Anyone have the answer for Eric on that one? I've never read this story, so I don't know. Number 5. Dear Journal, it's a Sunday evening, chilly. I'm sitting on the deck, watching the sunset through the trees, thinking about everything I know now, and what comes next. Cora says there's a power that flows through these woods, pooling in places like the ruins near Westchester and the river near my home. She says it calls out to those who can hear it, those like her and me. But there's even more she doesn't say because she doesn't need to. I could feel it. This power. It's bigger than all of us. A swift-moving river so wide you can't see the shore. It's so deep you can't touch the bottom. It's not good or evil, but it is volatile. It responds to intention. Cora says that those who respect it, who nurture and protect it, can use it to do good things. But what about those who don't? He used to be a person. That's what Cora said when I asked about the creature in the ruins, Redfield. She told me about him and about the choices he made and how they corrupted him and how that corruption has rippled down over the years. So many lives broken, so many innocent people hurt. Was it malice that drove him, or just arrogant, selfish ignorance? I guess there's no difference in the end. I told Cora about the development groups sniffing around my land, and the two of us are agreed they absolutely cannot be allowed to build here. This river must be protected, so I will be the one to protect it. And the entry ends there. We found 5 of 9 pages. Nice. Dwight says, so, the author of these journals was trying to prevent construction in this area, Danny says, did you say something? Danny glances up as you slide the bottle away and stuff the message into your pocket. Dwight says, nothing. Let's go talk to Richard. Danny grimaces as she spots something over your shoulder. Danny says, too late! He's coming this way! A tall, thin man slides up alongside Danny, flashing a toothy grin. Well, hey, look who it is, Richard says. Danny says, hi, Richard. Hey, Danny. I'll take a double shot espresso with no foam, please. Danny says, yep, that is a joke, because I am a barista sometimes. You got me. Oh, don't be like that. I'm just kidding. It's great to see you. Richard's voice sounds oddly familiar. You try to place it as he turns toward you. Hi there, haven't we met? Richard Sutcliffe. I'm Dwight. Danny was just telling me about you. Oh yeah? All good things, I hope. Danny said, you have an auction coming up. Oh, that. Yeah, no big deal. Just a small gathering with a few friends to enjoy some fine art. Clothing optional. Beside you, Danny nearly chokes on her drink. Richard says, I'm kidding. Or am I? You all share a laugh that feels extremely forced, especially in Danny's case. He creeps you out? Yeah. No, but seriously, Richard says, let me buy you a drink. Bartender, 3 over here. Dwight says, that's okay. We just got our drinks. Well then, I'll just have to stick around until you finish them, won't I? Great, Danny says. Richard says, so what brings you two out tonight? We're celebrating. Oh, really? What's the occasion? 4 years. Since what? Since my first photo. It's been 4 years since I sold my first photo. Hey, that's great. Congratulations. I wish you'd said something. I've got a bottle of vintage champagne on the yacht. You and Danny lock eyes for a split second. Cool. You got a yacht? What's it called? We'd love to see it sometime. Richard hesitates, taken aback. Oh, actually it's not. That is, what I meant to say was... On cue, the bartender brings 2 drinks out. Richard turns, brushing his hair back, and you see a dark purple bruise on his temple. Dwight says, is that? Or he's thinking, is that? Richard says, hey, bartender, I ordered 3 drinks. This is only 2. I'm sorry, Mr. Sutcliffe, but I have to cut you off. I don't feel comfortable serving a 4th martini to someone with a head injury. What? This? It's nothing! I told you I bumped it on a window. Your heart jumps in your chest as Richard argues with the bartender. You pull Danny aside, frantically whispering. Dwight says, come here! Danny says, whoa, what is it? I just remembered why Richard seems so familiar to me. He's one of the cultists who attacked me at Ned's house. What? How do you know that? I recognize... the bruise. I gave it to him when I kicked him in the head. Danny's surprise twists into fury. Oh yeah? Well, let's kick him a few more times just to be sure. Make the bartender an ally. He deserves the world. Danny starts to move toward Richard, but you step in front of her. Hold up! We can't just deck him in a bar. Danny says, give me one good reason. I'll give you 3. 1, he's our only lead on the cult. 2, we now know for sure that he is a lead. And 3, he hasn't recognized me yet, which means we have the upper hand. So what do you suggest? We should... Let's see. Let's jump him in the parking lot, get him to invite us to that party. We'll get him to invite us to the party. If he's part of the cult, it's a perfect chance to sneak around his house and look for evidence. Okay, but counterpoint, I'd rather pull my own teeth. Do you have a better idea? Danny sighs. No, you're right. It's a good plan. That I hate it. But if it means taking this smarmy bastard down, I'm in. How about we jump to him after we get an invite to the party? Yeah. That's the spirit. Dwight says. When you turn back to Richard, he's grumbling to himself. Unbelievable! I should sue this place. Danny clears her throat. So, Richard, I might have a small favor to ask. Richard perks up. Oh? What can I do for you, Danny? I was just wondering, what are my chances of me getting some work into that... getting some work into that audition after all? Richard says, well, it's a little last minute, but what the hell, it's my party. We can find room for one more. Danny says, great. Can I bring a few guests? Richard says, that depends on who they are. Danny says, well, what do you mean? Oh, you know, this is a pretty upscale event. The guests need to meet a certain a certain standard. Let's see, how old do we think Danny is? Early, yeah, I was thinking early 20s, maybe 24, 25. Early to mid-20s. We should give him another head entry. Think 21. Okay. Any other guesses? Because Richard hitting on her is so gross. Everyone but Parker is 21, I feel. Hey, Payne, thanks for lurking. Oh, I mean, obviously we make exceptions for the artist. After all, we do need a little of that boho rebel hipster thing. But that's why I like your work so much. It really straddles the line, you know. Dangerous but safe. Edgy but boring. Thanks, Richard. Besides you, Danny seethes. Wow! You're so right, Richard. We're gonna play the game, see what information he might give us. The only good party is an exclusive one. Gotta keep the riffraff out. Richard says, I wouldn't put it exactly like that, but yes. Not like us, though. Right. So, any chance I could get a ticket? Richard focuses his attention fully on you, expression souring. I'm sorry, who are you again? Do I know you? No, Dwight is new here, Danny says. Richard says, no, I do recognize you. You're that bastard Arthur's grandkid. And what about it? Let's see, Richard ignores the question, pointing a finger in your face. Listen, you tell that little hooligan brother of yours to stay away from my son. Wait. What do you have against my brother? I don't care what kind of lifestyle he gets up to on his own time. Just leave Robbie out of it. And just what is that supposed to mean? Richard scoffs and turns to leave. Richard, wait! What about the auction? Danny shouts. Richard says, you're invited. As for your guest... Richard shoots you a contemptuous glare. Richard's tickets are sold out. Richard storms off, leaving you and Danny alone at the bar. Fuming, you head back to the table and rejoin Tom and Parker. He sells tickets? Wow. Parker says, so what's the verdict? Oh, Richard is definitely part of the cult. Tom says, hey, that's great. A real deal. Maybe we could get into that art auction Danny mentioned, and that ship has already sailed and sunk. Danny thumps her elbow on the table, angrily massaging her forehead. Danny says, damn it! We have to get into that house. If anybody would be stupid enough to leave secret cult stuff lying around, it's Richard. I'll just have to accept this invitation and go by myself. You always assumed it was a charity auction. So did I. Yeah, so did I. Yeah, not happening. I wasn't aware I needed your permission, Danny says. Parker says you don't. But you're going to have a hard time investigating if you are by yourself and Richard's watching you the whole time. And if anything happens and you're in there alone... Danny says, look, I know it's not ideal, but what other choice do we have? Tom says, we could break in. I don't know, man. I'm just spitballing. We wouldn't make it past the lawn. I took a noise complaint at Richard's place a few months ago. The security there was crazy tight. The table lapses into silence. You think charity is Richard's bank account? Right? Don't suppose anyone's got a rich and popular friend who's also nice enough to get tickets for 3 total randos. An idea pops into your head. Actually, maybe we do. In the morning, you jump out of bed feeling energized and start getting ready. Elliot rolls over, grumbling sleepily. Keep it down. Sorry. Where are you going anyway? It's like 8:30 a.m. You know what they say about the early bird. Elliot blinks at you with sleepy skepticism. It gets the worm? Elliot grumbles and rolls back over. You pull out your phone and text Imogen. Dwight texts, good morning! Hello, what's up? I was wondering if you felt like hanging out this morning. Also, I could use your help with shopping. Or with something, excuse me. I'd love to. Come over whenever. Although, full disclosure, I'm not totally awake yet. Give me like an hour. Or you could surprise me with breakfast. It's not a surprise if you're the one who suggests it, Dwight said. Suggest what? I don't know what you're talking about. LOL. You want to stop by the bakery and head to Imogen's early? It'll give you a chance to spend some extra time together, and nothing goes with sweet talk like pastries. Felt like Elliot all last week, to be honest. Felt like Elliot for the last year. Oh, shoot. We'll talk to Imogen here in a couple minutes. I just need to take a break real quick and get me something else to drink, and I will be right back. I am back. Let's see. So, surprise Imogen with pastries, or give her some time to wake up. Nah, we'll wait. We'll give her some time to wake up. Hey, good news! I don't have to leave yet. All the more time to spend with my awesome little brother. Since we didn't spend time with Elliot last time. It's like, but food! Oh my gosh, we had a big old food chat on Twitter today. That was crazy. Cream and croissants. For those who like croissants, what do you put on them? Do you just eat them plain, or do you put like butter on them, or jam? Like, what do you eat? What do you put on yours? I know. How did we go this long in the stream without talking about food? Come on. Eclairs? Ooh, yes, I love those. We ended up talking about muffins today. That was kind of funny. So, one of my friends said that he really likes banana nut muffins. That was Tito. And then it just kind of went from there. Pretty sure croissants are already buttered, so I don't need that. Ham and cheese are so good. I love the ham and cheese croissants at Starbucks. Oh, yes. Those are tasty. I'm pretty sure they're like bread, so like sandwiches sometimes. Yes. Oh man, a good like a turkey cheese and avocado or something on croissant. Ooh, that's good too. Nutella. Yum. So Elliot says, huzzah. You leap onto Elliot's bed, bounce off the mattress. He groans. Started making your own bread with a sourdough starter? What? How do you do it? It's always the same Uber Eats driver. It's so embarrassing. Pizza crust is really easy to make. Yeah. Ellie says, ugh, you're the worst. Leave me alone. I want to sleep. Dwight says, who can sleep when it's such a beautiful sunny day outside? Ellie says, me. An hour or so later, you make your way over to Imogen's and find her lounging by the pool on her phone. She glances up, smiling. Dwight says, good morning! Imogen says, it is now. You take a seat near Imogen. She lays her phone on the arm of her chair and gives you her full attention. So what's up? You said you needed something? We don't have to rush straight to that, Dwight says. I'm mostly just wanted an excuse to come visit. And well, I thought I should check up on you after what happened. Imogen smiles, eyes welling with tears. Hey, Ron! Imogen says, oh, thank you, but you didn't have to. I'm okay. Thanks for the lurk. She blinks rapidly, lifting her face to keep the tears from messing up her eyeliner. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm a mess. Imogen bites back a sob. You lean in, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. Hey, it's okay. I'm sorry. Kyle was my best friend. Ever since we were kids, and now he's... Her voice cracks. She breathes out slowly until her voice steadies. I just don't understand. How can someone be alive and happy 1 second and then... gone? Imogen says... Oh, Imogen? I'm so sorry. I want you to know that I'm here for you. Anything you need. Imogen squeezes your hand and wipes away her tears. She smiles weakly at you. Imogen is no longer haunted. Thanks, Dwight. It's enough that you're here now. I'm sorry you had to get caught up in all this. You probably came to Pine Springs for a nice quiet summer. Actually... You take a deep breath. Listen, there's something I haven't told you about me. I know how you're feeling right now because I lost someone too recently. What do you mean? My parents, they died just a few weeks ago. Violently. Imogen lets out a soft gasp, raising a hand to her lips. Oh God, Dwight! That's awful, I'm sorry! Thank you, but the thing is, I think Kyle and my parents' deaths are connected. You do? Why? How? Let's just call it a hunch for now and leave it at that. If there's anything I can do to help... There is, actually. Do you know a guy named Richard Sutcliffe? Nothing like talking about death in the morning. I know, right? What a downer. It's like you went from good morning to, well, you know, we've had a really dark life. You know, things are horrible right now. A little? I think my dad is on the Arts and Culture Council with him. Why? Well, there's this party at his mansion tonight, and I was hoping you could help me. And some friends get invites? Hypothetically, I probably could. But... Imogen's face falls. I'm sorry, Dwight. I don't think I can. My parents are going to be there tonight, and well, they're not your biggest fans. Your parents? What do they have against me? I don't know. My mom says you're trouble. Really need to start playing with music? Yes! Random thought because I just remembered the Royal Romance. Imagine if It Lives used the Freshman's angry music and fight scenes. Ooh. Dwight says, what do you think? Imogen says, I think you're my friend. But I'm not stupid. I know you've been keeping things from me. Please, Dwight, just tell me the truth, the whole truth. What's going on? You push your teacup aside and look Imogen dead in the eyes. He says, okay, it's kind of a long story, and parts of this are going to sound really unbelievable, but just hear me out. Now, okay, so when you're reading Choices, or, you know, whichever app you're in, do you always read with the music? Most of the time when I'm reading Choices books, I'm at work. I'm at work on my downtime, so I can't listen to the music. I can't hear it. So I really didn't hear a lot of it until I read it at home. And when I read at home, sometimes I'll turn the volume up, but most of the time I don't, just because I'm so used to reading it without the music. Let's see. Dr. Wolf says, oh wow, the music in this Veil of Secrets chapter goes hard. The music was the only good thing on Wolf Bride. Oh, ouch. Home reading is a lot better for Choices, so yeah. Yeah, because I get like the full effect when I'm at home. You know, I get to... yeah, the music in these books are great. I usually... well, like I said, I get to hear the sound when I'm at home. I don't get to hear it when I'm usually reading the books, which is at work, so. But, it's a nice surprise getting to hear the music. It's kind of funny. Okay, so, what? Platinum is basically the game is all music, and I know this is going to sound absolutely horrible, but I did not really hear any of the music in Platinum. I have to go back and play the book so I can hear the songs. Nothing like a dirty 30 scene when you're in public. Oh no! I don't know. Some of those are pretty saucy, and you always know when the air quotes dirty 30 scene comes up because that music changes. When that music hits, you're like, uh-oh. Oh boy. Me too, they make them so awkward. Oh, come on. But, I like reading them. Let's see. You tell her the whole story. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I clicked that too fast. At first, she seemed skeptical, but by the time you're done, she just looks stunned. Wow. Wow. This is a lot to take in. I know. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it either. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to click that fast. I'm sorry. They're always so overdramatic, like, can y'all do something more casual for once? Oh! I'm gonna type them all here. No, Dwight, I do believe you. Wait, really? Of course. Why would you lie about something like this? Besides, I knew there was something fishy about what happened to Kyle. Dwight says, so you'll help us get into the auction? Imogen says, sure. I should be able to pinch some tickets from the Mathesons. They're always happy for an excuse to stay in. But why do you actually need them? What does an art auction have to do with all that? Oh, thank you. You tell her the whole story. The drownings, the monsters, what happened at Ned's, the trip to Westchester, everything. Thank you, Belber. I appreciate you. You know that cult I mentioned? Richard Sutcliffe is part of it. He's one of the people who murdered Ned and attacked me. Imogen says, oh my god! You have to go to the police! We already tried that. Besides, we don't know who else is involved. Anyone could be in on it. Yes, clips are convenient. That is true. Well then, we have to tell my parents. My dad's a lawyer. He'll know what to... Imogen, we can't rule out anyone. Imogen says, well, what do you mean? Exactly what I said. Anyone could be involved. Anyone like the police? Maybe. What about Parker? Or Tom? Or Danny? Well, I don't think... But you said it could be anyone, right? Imogen rises to her feet, voice increasingly frantic. So why not them? Or my parents? Or me? I love this music. This piece of music is so great. I love it. Dwight says, I don't understand why you're getting so upset. I thought you said you believed me. Imogen lifts her gaze skyward, taking deep breaths to compose herself, and then she lowers her eyes back to you, expression angry. Look, maybe to you, Pine Springs is just yokels and snooty rich folks, but this is my life, my neighbors, my friends, my family. You can't just go around hurling accusations about people you barely know. You get to your feet. Imogen, please, I'm just trying to... She steps away, eyes welling with angry tears. Stop! I don't want to hear another word. I need to process this. Please, just go. I know this is a lot to handle, but we need your help now. The auction is tonight and someone else could die at any... I said, get out! Imogen storms off around the side of the house, following a dirt path into the woods. You trail after her, pleading. Imogen, wait! I said go away! You quicken your pace to match hers, but Imogen takes off running. You soon lose sight of her, huffing and puffing for breath. Gotta be kidding me. Damn Imogen and her stupid long legs. It's like chasing a gazelle. Like chasing a gazelle. I love it. You make your way down a rocky incline, patting aside tree branches and spider webs as you call out. Imogen, please! I'm sorry! I didn't mean to upset you. Can't we just talk? Your own voice echoes out and back, and that's when you realize. No birds? Somewhere nearby, a branch snaps loudly. Somewhere nearby, a branch snaps loudly. I should call out again. Because, why not? Imogen, is that you? The air grows cool as the sun slips behind the clouds, and a light drizzle begins to fall. Imogen, come on! We should get out of here before... Another branch snaps. You hear a snarling growl. Oh, screw this, Dwight says. You take off running. Crashing sounds pursue you through the underbrush. As your heart hammers in your chest, violent memories flash before your eyes. No, no, no. And you're thinking back to your mom and the image she made in the carpet with her blood. It's the bear thing! Stay back! Dwight yells. And then you're thinking about the party. Get away from me! Monstrous snarls and snapping limbs surround you on all sides. Your foot slips on a wet root. Whoa! You slam into the ground, tumbling over onto your back as a shadowy form rises in the mist above you and lets out an inhuman scream. And Dwight screams. Chapter 6 complete. Ooh, that was like, whoa, what the heck? And where's Imogen? What happened to her? Ooh. Dang. So Tom is on edge. What do I think the thing is? I don't know yet. I don't know. Imogen's rattled. Parker is rattled. Danny is rattled. Dwight is rattled for sure after what happened there. Hey, Snow. Our points went up a little bit. We're rattled, but points went up. We did take the tome in Westchester from Noah. We've only done one lock in the chest there. Everyone's like, and then Tom's like, yeah. Alright, we'll continue on. Let's see. I think I'm ready to start this. Hidden Depths. You and your friends infiltrate a luxurious gala and discover a terrible secret. Whew. That music is intense. I'm like, dang. Oh. And the bear thing. And, jeez. It's wild. One second. And poor Kyle and, oh, man. It's a lot of memories to have to, excuse me, go through. You cower before a hulking inhuman form as it bears down on you. And Dwight screams. Imogen says, Dwight! Imogen! You scramble backwards, realizing that the thing looming over you isn't a huge monster at all, but Imogen riding a horse? Cree! Whoa, boy, whoa! Imogen reins in her whinnying mount, calming him with the soothing strokes to his flank. Best horse. Imogen, what? When did you get on a horse? What are you doing here? I ride when I'm angry. To clear my head. These are horse trails. What are you doing here? I was trying to find you. You pick yourself up from the ground, dusting off leaves and moss when Imogen dismounts. Did you hear anything in the trees? I could have sworn there was an animal or something. You probably just heard us riding. You scan the forest, seeing nothing but gray and green, hearing nothing but the gentle patter of rain on leaves. And you suppress a shiver. Yeah, probably. Well, come on. You better follow us. You'll never make it back to the house on your own. She begins leading the horse forward, and you stay close beside her, wary of the oppressive force all around you. You walk in silence for a while, listening to the comforting breathing of the horse and feeling the drizzle cooling your face. Imogen, I'm sorry. I know it's hard to hear that people you know, people you love, might be involved in something dark. It's not just that. It's you have no idea what it's like being their daughter. Trying my hardest to live up to them, trying to get out of their shadow, to make them proud. And I can't do all that and defend them too. Then don't. If they've made it this hard for you to be their daughter, then you don't owe them anything. Imogen slowly comes to a stop. All of the emotion stirring inside her comes rushing to the surface as she lets out a guttural sob. Nothing I do is good enough. You reach a tentative hand out to her. Hey, it's okay. Imogen shies away from you, turning instead to bury her face in her horse's mane. Oh, horsey. Dwight says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't know you were struggling this much. Imogen sniffles and wipes hastily at her cheeks. No, it's fine. I'm just overreacting, like my mom always says. She tugs the horse forward again, navigating him around an exposed root. You take the other rein to help her, offering your hand under the horse's nose. And the horse sniffs. I don't know what kind of sound a horse makes. I think he likes you, Imogen says. Well, what's his name? Diavolos. Ooh, I love it. I love the name. He was a gift from my dad the day I graduated high school. Wait, Diavolos. Wasn't that a name of one of the characters in The Crown and the Flame? Anybody remember that? That's the last time I remember my parents being proud of me. Imogen laughs mirthlessly through fresh tears. Yes! The Navrakis Prince, right? I love that book, man. The Crown and the Flame series was so good. So good. I spent so many diamonds. Yes, it is. The Crown and the Flame is a show in the Choices universe. That's right. Our favorite nerdy lovebirds from the Freshmen are big fans of the show. Yes, mostly on the Freshmen. That's right. They're so annoying, low-key. You didn't like them? I thought sometimes they were a little dramatic, but then it's like, okay, wait a minute. I had friends who were big drama queens and stuff back when I was in school, you know? Oh! No, let's not talk about Tyler right now. Let's not talk about Tyler right now. They're so toxic together, like, come on, you guys, basic communication here. Oof. Oof. It kind of brings me, while we're having discussion here. Okay, are many of you on Twitter? I know Eric is on Twitter. There's others who are on Twitter. Because I was thinking of starting a chat group or something on Twitter for us. If that's something that you might all be interested in. They were so cute in the beginning too, but the second they moved in together, nope. Oh wow. I like them, but they're endearing. They're endearing. Let's see. Imogen says, "Listen to me complaining while your parents are gone." I would be absolutely down for that. And then I'm working on maybe updating my Discord for that, if folks are maybe interested in that. It's going to take me a little while to work on that, because I have to, get another bot, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of stuff. But group chat on Twitter, I can absolutely 100% do that. In the meantime... Whew, ouch, really? Imogen, it's okay to complain. You place a hand over Imogen's where it's wrapped, tightly around the reins. Yeah, my parents are gone, but that doesn't mean your problems suddenly aren't valid. This isn't a competition for worst life ever. I know, but it feels like I should be appreciating the time I have with them, even if that time isn't what I would like. I get where you're coming from, but it's okay to put yourself first sometimes. You don't have to ignore your feelings and problems just because you feel like it's your duty to or something. Right? Thanks for being so supportive. I know you're going through your own stuff, but you still take the time to make me feel better about mine. Hey, what are friends for? Dwight says. You release her hand to push away the errant branch and catch sight of the mansion in the distance. Looks like we're almost there. As you continue to walk, the drizzle tapers off and the sun peeks through the thin clouds, dispelling any lingering menace in the forest. My parents might be critical and distant, but I know deep down they're good people. They can't be involved in this conspiracy you're talking about. Just look at the facts. Your mom was selling the house the day after Ned was killed, or whatever it is that happened to him. That house was a mess. I was there. She had to have at least known about it. Well, And what about how they were so quick to say Kyle's death was an accident? They wouldn't even listen to what you had to say. Why? I don't know. Don't you want to find out? Don't you want to figure out what's going on in this town? Don't you want to know what really happened to Kyle? As you round a bend, you come upon a trim stable abutting Imogen's house. Together you lead the horse inside. Imogen is pensive as she tugs Diavolos to an unoccupied stall. You really think you're going to find all those answers at Richard's house? I hope so. All the evidence is pointing towards Richard being involved somehow with this cult. I think our chances are good of finding something at least. And something is better than nothing. Imogen sighs, giving Diavolos' velvety nose a final tender stroke. Okay, I'll get you the invitations, but you need to include me in whatever it is you're planning. If you're going to find out the truth about Kyle and my parents, I should be there. That's only fair. And Imogen, you put a hand on her shoulder and squeeze gently. I promise we'll get to the bottom of this. Imogen puts her hand over yours and smiles. I believe you. " the bugs. Yeah, I read The Freshman, like, oh my gosh, so many times. So, Choices fans, what is the book or the series of books that you've read the most? That one, book or series that you just cannot stop replaying it. You didn't notice that she had a piercing? Wow, Pelber. You know what though? That's not bad. That's not bad because I've had my lip ring for like nearly 20 years, and there are some people who like don't even notice that I have it, because it's like it becomes like a part of your face. It's like people don't notice it after a while. So, let's see. Probably Rules of Engagement Newlyweds, just because it gave me a ton of diamonds. I've read Hero so often until they announced there would be no book 2. It's easily It Lives for me. The Freshman, I read more than once. The Royal Romance, a lot. I read that one a lot. And Perfect Match. Perfect Match I've read a lot. I have to like go in and check out other stuff, I just finished a reread of Perfect Match maybe about a couple of months ago. Oh, and thanks Eric for tweeting out the stream. I appreciate it. This for series, The Crown and the Flame and The Freshman, except I always skip the junior. Hidden Depths is this chapter's name. You stand in front of your mirror holding up different clothes on hangers. I don't know what to wear to a fancy gala. How fancy is too fancy? How much fancy is not enough? Is not fancy enough? If you name something after Sloane, they notice. Twisted Perfect Match made my jaw drop like the GDs. Yeah, me too, Chocobo. Me too. Choices, lady. I knew you were gonna say that. If you were gonna say that, I knew it. Ride or die. This doesn't really happen in Bolas. Yeah. Let's. As long as we make sure we don't drop spoilers in the chat, because, some folks haven't read other stuff. And not that anybody has, I'm just, kind of putting it out there. I've read Blades quite a bit for recent books and Queen Bee. Me personally, I loved Perfect Match. I would highly recommend it. I love that series. It's so good. So good. I've read With Every Heartbeat a lot, and it kills me every time. Oh, the only Choices book to make me like boohoo cry, like ugly cry. It was, oh my god, somebody just stomped on my heart. It was like, oh my god, so brutal, so brutal. Yeah, so I think let's see. There's quite a few of us who really liked Perfect Match. Let's see. I don't love With Every Heartbeat, but I get why people do. Dakota's a great character. Yes, Dakota is a great character. Honestly, I was not planning on reading With Every Heartbeat. I wasn't going to. And of course, somebody was like, "Hey, you know what? You gotta read it. You have to read it. It's so good. It's so good." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it. I'll read it." And I did, and I loved it. Maybe I'll start Perfect Match soon, then. Oh, yes. I know. I know what you mean, Dr. Waffles. I keep getting more books and more books and more books to read, you know? And that's kind of what stopped me from picking up, say, like, It Lives in the beginning. Because, you know, I would start reading some books, and then somebody would say, hey, you should play this, you know, or whatever. And it's just like, okay, well, I'll go play that, you know? So, yeah, I know what you mean. Let's see. Oh, man, A Very Scandalous Proposal. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, yes, I loved it. Loved it. Oh, my gosh. I love that one. I really liked that it was like, okay, your relationship was kind of tense. And then, you know, it warms up after that. I do like that. I like that a lot, actually. Elliot says, you look like a dweeb. Yes, me too. I'm super happy. You know, I've been tweeting about it for folks. I really hope, you know, folks check out A Very Scandalous Proposal. That is a good book. That is a seriously good book, y'all. Highly recommend. Dwight screams. You turn to find Elliot leaning against the door frame. You scared the crap out of me. You're such a wuss. What are you getting all dressed up for anyway? You got a hot date? If you must know, I'm going to a gala. Oh, a gala. Well, excuse me, Your Majesty. Elliot flops down on his bed with an explosive sigh. You walk over to your closet and take out another potential outfit. But what if I was dating someone, hypothetically? How would you feel? Elliot props himself up on his elbows and looks at you suspiciously. I mean, whatever. You do you, I guess. Huh. And, how are things going with Robbie? Elliot rolls his eyes dramatically. Oh, none of your business. So, you two seem to be getting along. Yeah, I guess. Elliot's face starts turning red. He's a really cool guy, I guess. So, you're enjoying spending time with him? Sure, I mean, yeah, I like hanging out with him a lot. Let's see. So have you told him that you like hanging out with him? Elliot worries his bottom lip between his teeth. Do you think I should? Couldn't hurt, right? And maybe you'll find out he really likes hanging out with you too. Elliot nods, thinking, okay, I'm bored with this conversation now. You know what's not boring? A gala. Subtle change in topic, Scoot. Yeah, well, I've got mad conversational skills. How the heck do you get invited to a gala? I know people in high places. And these people told you to wear that? You hold up the outfit in your hand. What's wrong with this? I mean, nothing. If you want to look like a total tool. Jeez, fine. You disappear back into your closet and re-emerge with a navy blue tuxedo. Better? Way, wearing that, no one will be able to tell you're such a dweeb. You know, until you open your mouth. Hey, that's a pretty slick looking suit there. We might go ahead and buy the suit. I loved Simon too. And I know Ava's the other side of the character, but yeah, Simon/Ava, love that character. Great character. Let's see. Choices Lady says, I find it hard to read 4 or 5 books at a time. I like to concentrate on one at a time. Yeah, okay. I'm so guilty of that. I had to slow down. I had to slow it down because it was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm like forgetting stuff that happens. I'm mixing some of the stuff up. It's just, it was really hard to keep up with. So, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, sorry, Simon Montjoy. From Scandalous Proposal. Oh, sorry. I should have scrolled back further. I didn't scroll back far enough to see what book we were talking about. My bad. Why wasn't the girl Macho named Simone? I was kind of surprised that they went like completely in the opposite direction for her name, because I would have thought it was cool to be like Simon and Simone, you know. All right, we're getting in the tux because we look sharp. We look sharp in our tux. Okay, so how do I look? Look all right, I guess. I wouldn't say that. Let's be nice. You guess. Okay, fine. You look good. It's not called a tuxedo. Don't. I love it. I gotta say, I do feel pretty good in this. A smile tugs at the corners of Elliot's mouth, but disappears as his worries resurface. You clear your throat. Hey, Scooter! Yeah. Want to see me runway model this outfit? And your brother is like, what? Why would I want to see that? Ever? You ignore him striking a pose at the end of the room, and then... Supermodel. Make a pouty face and stride across the room, giving him your best blue steel. Channeling your inner diva. Elliot snort laughs, pulling down his beanie to cover his eyes. So embarrassed to be related to you right now. You're such a butt, Dwight said. You're a butt, Elliot says back. Grandpa says, what's going on in here? You and Elliot jump. You turn to find your grandfather standing in the doorway, arms crossed. Nothing? Doesn't look like nothing. Dwight's going out. Elliot! Elliot looks startled, as if the words jumped out of his mouth on their own. Going out, huh? Going out where? Grandpa, it's the butt contest. Are you a butt? To hang out with some friends? There's a lengthy pause while your grandpa looks between you and Elliot. Alright, so long as you're back before curfew. Really? Oh, you like my grandpa voice? That's funny. Oh, that's hysterical. Well, thank you. Of course, I'm not a monster, Dwight. Relieved? You won't have to sneak out tonight. Your face splits into a huge grin. Thanks, Grandpa. You won't regret it, I promise. I better not. You notice your grandfather looking at you oddly. Is, something wrong? Dwight asks. You know, sometimes you remind me so much of your mother. My mother? How so? Grandpa reaches up, his hand almost touching your cheek, but not quite. It's in your smile. She used to smile all the time, you know, when she was a little girl. But then... Your grandfather shakes his head and pulls his hand back. But then what? Never mind, forget I said anything. Grandpa clears his throat and grows distant once more, the rare show of emotion passing as if it never was. Just came by to tell you kids I'll be out late tonight. Poker night with the boys. I didn't know you had friends. Try that sass on me again and we'll see how you like sleeping in the boathouse, boy. Elliot rolls his eyes and pulls out his phone, disconnecting from the conversation. Thanks for letting us know. So don't forget to shut off the lights at 8. I'm not made of money, you know? Yes, Grandpa. Grandpa turns to leave, but stops at the top of the stairs. And Dwight, you better be back before curfew. Or there will be consequences. You swallow back an annoyed response at being treated like a child, knowing that angering him now could get you grounded. Yes, Grandpa. look at this. This is swanky. You step up to the opulent mansion. Beautiful people and even more beautiful clothing are filtering in and out. Laughter and music can be heard coming from inside. Whew, this place is intimidating, Dwight is thinking. At least I look like I fit in. Good thing Elliot talked me into wearing this outfit. You spot your friends milling around outside and approach them. Imogen's looking pretty hot in her blue dress. Dwight, you look stunning. Danny says, no joke. You'll fit in great with these rich douche noodles. Ha ha! Danny, though, tell us how you really feel. And she looks really good in her gold dress, in her braid. Looks very pretty. Oh, no offense, I guess, Imogen. None taken. You're right. Most of the people who come to Richard's parties are douche noodles. Or at least douche noodle adjacent. I know! Parker says, thanks for helping us get into this, by the way, Imogen. It's really solid of you. Of course, she's wearing his tan suit with a blue check tie. Pocket square. Looking pretty sexy there. I like you, Parker. Oh, Tom! I love that red suit. Danny dropping facts. Also, how did Danny afford that dress? She somehow looks richer than Imogen. Danny Sass is why I always choose her as Li. Yes, Danny is sassy pants. I like her a lot. Tom says we'd be up a creek without a paddle if it wasn't for you, or up a lake without a paddle, I guess. Call it spaghetti. Oh, jeez. Pshaw. If at least I could do. I mean, we all want to get to the truth, right? Do we? Danny asks. Pardon? Danny says, look, I know I can trust these dweebs. We've been through the ringer together, but you're a wild card, Miss Jimmy Choos. Imogen says, oh my god, these are Jimmy Choos. You've got a good eye. Well, duh, of course you do. You're a super talented photographer. Danny says, thanks? But to address your concerns, my best friend was killed. And the people closest to me are trying to convince me it was an accident. Dwight helped me realize that I have a chance to finally get some answers. So you may not trust me completely, but I totally get that. But I hope you'll at least let me help. Dwight says, I vouch for Imogen. I don't think she's got a dishonest bone in her body. Do we really know that? Tom says, plus, you know, she did come through with the invites for us, so... You all look to Danny, who rolls her eyes but smiles. Yeah, okay, fine. We're all here for the same thing. It's good enough for me. Parker says, alright. We should come up with a game plan before we head inside. What's our end goal, Dwight? We need to find anything that connects Richard to the cult, or anything that connects the cult to the ghost in the lake. So, pretty much anything weird and inexplicable? Tom asks. Pretty much, Dwight says. Imogen says, oh, thanks for the biddies, Jingo! Just wait until you see Richard's interior decorating. It's all weird and inexplicable. Parker says, he probably wouldn't keep anything incriminating in full view of his guests. Well, you know, some criminals are not that smart. Danny says, you're right. A jerkwad like that keeps all the real merchandise under wraps. So Dwight says, we're going to need to find a way to search the house. Imogen says, Richard might be a first-class tool, but he's a terrifyingly attentive host. He watches his guests like a hawk. So we should... If he's very attentive, I don't think a distraction would really work. Because he would see that as something strange. Wait for an opening or blend in? Let's wait for an opening. And what if there is no opening, Danny asks. You're a smart cookie, Danny. What happens? Tom says, there's gotta be an opening. I mean, Richard's gotta step out at some point to, I don't know, wind his Rolex, trade stocks, do rich people things? Dwight says, let's just keep our eyes peeled, okay? And when Richard's back is turned, we slip off one by one. Oh, I'm so excited. I feel like an international super spy, Imogen says. Parker says we should have a signal or code word for if things go south. Good thinking, Cub Scout, Danny says. Parker says Eagle Scout, actually. Okay, that point you just gained with me? I'm gonna take that back now. If we're doing signals, can I suggest the Vulcan to all? And it just says, isn't that from Star Wars? Oh no, girl. Oh no. Oh, why? No. What did you just say? Tom is looking stunned, just like I did. That's my shocked face. Tom's face? That's my shocked face. Mouth dropped, eyes popping out of the head. Like, what? Let's see. His nerve, minus 100. I know. Imogen is the Crown and the Flame fan, but apparently not a Star Wars, Star Trek fan. I know. We'll forgive her for that. We'll forgive her for that. Let's see. Jenga. Ha! I get it. Because, like, Jenga, our plans will topple to the ground and fail. Oh, wait. Okay, I think we're all set. Everybody ready? I don't think I've ever been unready, Tom says. Huh. Alright, Tom. Filled with anticipation, you and your friends follow Imogen inside. The mansion interior drips with garish opulence. Wealthy people stand in gatherings around art displays, sipping champagne. No sign of my parents yet. You just realized that this is Matt's house? The point Imogen gained with Tom? Oh! He's gonna take that back now. Yes. I'll keep my eyes peeled for them. If it looks like they'll spot me, I'll hide. Imogen frowns in concern. You reassure her with a small smile. Don't worry, we've got this, okay? Okay. You turn to the rest of your friends with renewed resolve. Alright guys, you know what to do. Everyone except Danny splits off and blends into the crowd as best they can. Danny says, I gotta man my art display, but I'll keep my eyes open for a chance to slip out. Rescue me if it looks like I'm being persecuted by rich dingbats. Dwight says, you got it. Danny takes a deep breath and strides off to a curated display of her photographs. You casually sidle up to the bar and catch the bartender's attention. What'll you have? We'll have some wine. I don't drink wine myself, but I think my character would. Bartender's just coming right up. As you wait for your drink, you notice Robbie sitting off in a corner by himself, nursing a ginger ale. Bartender says, here you go. Thanks, Dwight says. You get your drink from the bar and make your way over to Robbie. What's a kid like you doing in a joint like this? Dwight! What are you doing here? Hey, I asked you first. Oh, it's my dad's party, so I kinda have to be here. Oh, yeah. Richard's your dad, huh? You sit down beside him. What's that like? I don't know, it's fine. He's the only dad I got, so... So... You two don't get along? Not really. He's not a big fan of my life choices. You're what, 15? How many life choices can you have even made? He doesn't approve of my friends, or of who I date. Oh no, Robbie, I'm so sorry. It's fine. Really, just 3 more years until I'm on my own, right? Then it won't matter what he thinks. Is that why you're sitting here all bummed out and alone? Nah, it's just, these people aren't my kind of crowd. That's because they're your dad's friends. Friends is a stretch, but yeah. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But yeah, he doesn't attract the best kinds of people, or the nicest, or the most open-minded. I think that's why I'm so surprised to see you here. Because I'm not rich? No, because you're not awful. Oh, well, a friend invited me, and I couldn't refuse. She's kind of a sweetheart. Saying no to her is like kicking a puppy. Imogen Westcott, right? Ah, so you know her. A little, but you're right. She's the best. As you take a drink, you notice Robbie looking around the room. You didn't bring Elliot too, did you? Why? Missing him already? Robbie chokes on his drink and his face goes red. No, I was just, I thought... Hey, I'm only kidding. Robbie relaxes a little, but his cheeks stay beet red. You know, you and Elliot, make a cute couple. Robbie's face goes even redder. He tries to hide it by taking another drink. We aren't dating. But you'd like to be. A goofy, fond smile makes its way onto Robbie's face. Yeah, I would. Is that okay? What do you mean? Well, he's your little brother. Would you be okay if I asked him out? Robbie, come on. You're not proposing. If you want to ask him out, go for it. Robbie fidgets with the glass in his hand. Do you, think he'd say yes? You know what? I think he would. Robbie nearly drops his drink. Wow, okay. Robbie takes a deep calming breath. Okay. From across the room, you see Richard waving Robbie over. Guess that's my cue. Robbie and Elliot are the best side couple in choices. You can't change my mind. Alright. That brings up a good question. What side couples and choices are your favorite? The non-MC couples. Was this a pun all along? The folks at Choices do seem like they're very fond of puns, which I love. So we know Belber here likes Robbie and Elliot. What other couples are out there that you really like? Robbie downs the last of his ginger ale and stands. Hey, Robbie? Yeah? Hang in there. And don't let them get to you. Thanks, Dwight. I won't. Tell Elliot I said, hey. Will do. Robbie walks off looking just a little taller. As Robbie nears his dad, you can hear snatches of Richard scolding him. Robert Williams Sutcliffe, I've told you 100 times to go back upstairs and change into your tuxedo. But Dad... No buts, young man. Upstairs now! Poor kid. I hope he does okay. It's also the best because it's free, and free things are awesome. Yes. In the place where Robbie was sitting, you notice a square piece of cloth. A handkerchief? You pick it up and see it's been embroidered with the letters RWS. I'm guessing that's going to be important later. It's alright. Even if you didn't pay for them, were there ones that you liked? That you didn't play through, even? I liked, MC's best friends in, Ride or Die. I don't want to pay for other people's happiness. That's not fair. Does he even have a pocket for a hanky? I didn't see one. It's gotta be Robbie's. Must have fallen out of his pocket when he stood up. You scan the crowd for Robbie, but he's nowhere to be seen. I'll hold on to it for now and give it back when I see him again. You look through the throng of people for your friends. Parker is being chatted up by two old ladies while Imogen and Tom are tearing up the dance floor. No, they didn't break up. Oh, they did break up, yes. I liked them before that. I also liked that they were able to still be friends afterwards. It wasn't like they hated each other. That takes a lot of maturity to be friends with your ex. You catch Danny's eye and she makes a pleading motion with her eyebrows. Looks like it's time for that rescue. You take a last sip of your drink and make your way over to her. Two stuffy men are arguing over one of her photographs as you approach. But I'm willing to offer 500. 500? Ridiculous. I'd easily pay double that. For what? It's not as if you have any taste. This piece clearly belongs in an office that wasn't decorated by a nearsighted baboon. Wow! That's harsh. Danny grabs you by the elbow and whispers in your ear, "Kill me. Kill me now." You mean you don't want a front row seat to Tweedledee and Tweedledum's battle of wits? Danny says, "Can we please get out of here? If I have to stand here and listen to this for even 5 more minutes, my ears are going to start bleeding." Take a break with Danny. We'll give you a chance to spend some alone time with her, and get closer, and give you both a nerve boost. Right now, we really could use the nerve boost. Man, but I really would prefer something that, like, gives everybody a boost and not just one person. Oh boy. Oh boy. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Decisions. So difficult. Yeah, that's true. Alright, let's get out of here. I like that dress. So pretty. The 5 words I've been waiting to hear all night. You put a hand on Danny's back and steer her away from the display, leaving the oblivious men behind. Let me buy you a drink? It's an open bar. Okay, Miss Technicality. Trying to make a gesture here? Sorry, yes, I'd love a drink. You make your way to the bar and order 2 flutes of champagne. Okay, let it out, air all your grievances, it'll make you feel better. Ugh, where do I even start? This whole place pisses me off. The whole thing, or a few things in particular? Everything! The clothes, the jewelry, the tablecloths that probably cost more than I make in a month. On cue, the bartender reappears and sets down your drinks. Light winks off tiny flakes of gold swirling in the champagne. See? Even the booze is bougie. Is this what's in store for me? Displaying my art to people like this? But they're showing off your work, right? That's cool. it would be if everyone here wasn't so spectacularly missing the point. Bougie. Bougie. I know. Take that photo over there, for example. What would you say it's about? You study one of Danny's photos on a wall nearby. It's a photograph of boats. Oh man, why do we gotta get so, like, we gotta, you know what? I think Dwight would, like, he would look at it and be, like, thoughtful. It's like, I would say it's about class division. The way the yacht is just plowing right through while the smaller boat can barely stay afloat. Exactly! Thank you! At least someone gets it. Oh, that's funny. Well, you know. I'm on a boat. I thought the metaphor was fairly obvious, but you'd never know it from the reactions I've been getting tonight. Maybe they just don't want to see it. I mean, this isn't exactly the most receptive audience for a message about the plight of the working class. Danny lifts her glass, squinting skeptically at the swirl of gold flakes inside. I don't know. I can't decide if displaying this kind of work at a party like this makes me a rebel or a sellout. I think it doesn't matter. What do you mean? I mean, who gives a crap what these people do or don't think? They're not your audience, right? They're the yacht. Yes, I guess that's true. What matters today is that you made art you enjoyed and got paid for it, and now you can go make even more. Well, when you put it like that, it's hard to argue. You take a sip of your drink. So how are the gold flakes? Do they taste like success? Not really. They're pretty flavorless. Danny frowns and takes a sip of her drink. Wow, you're right. So they're just cosmetic edible glitter? Very expensive edible glitter. Ridiculous. She shakes her head, laughing. Say, speaking of edible, are you hungry? I'm starving. I think I saw one of those guys with a tray of food by the door. You and Danny grab your drinks and snag some hors d'oeuvres and stroll outside. You near the neat fire pit and warm yourselves by its gently licking flames. So how did you get into photography anyway? Growing up here, I think. I know my work's all about inequality now, but when I was a kid, it was more about trying to, I don't know, capture the magic of this place. I used to spend all day running around the woods and waterfalls, and then I'd come home and tell my mom about everything I'd discovered. Aw, Danny the Explorer! That's adorable! It got on my mom's nerves, actually. She'd like to joke that she bought me a camera so I'd close my mouth and open my eyes. She sounds nice. My parents are really supportive, a little too much sometimes. Their latest thing is trying to convince me to go to art school, but I'd rather look for a job so I can help them out, maybe in advertising. Wait, advertising? Seriously? That's surprising for you. Well, it's not like I'm dying to sell fast food and sports cars, but advertising pays well and full-time photography jobs are scarce. Especially if you need good benefits. That's so true. Life of a content creator. Dwight says, need? Ooh, that's cool. I haven't seen that background before. You make your way to the pool and look over the rippling cerulean water. My dad hurt his back about a year ago and had to get surgery. My mom's insurance is totally maxed out. Between that and Dad not working, Danny sighs. They might lose their house soon. I've been trying to help out with a part-time job, but I'm barely making ends meet as is. Oh, Danny. I'm sorry. Thank you. How'd your dad hurt his back? He worked in a warehouse for 20 years to provide for me. Sounds like you all really care about each other. I hope everything works out okay. Me too. Thanks, Dwight. You're really easy to talk to. That's not all I'm good for. Is that so? I'm also good at making toasts. You lift your glass. We may still have problems, but here's to one good night. And champagne somebody else paid for! Danny is now only on edge. I'll drink to that! Danny picks up her glass and clinks it to yours, and then you both knock back what's left of your drinks. Phew! That's a little stronger than I thought. Maybe we should go easy. Probably not the best idea to get our buzz on in the middle of a cultist convention. We should probably be getting back anyway. The others might be looking for us. You and Danny head inside and rejoin the party. You help give Danny a break from the gala, breath of fresh air. The band strikes up a romantic tune and couples begin making their way onto the dance floor. It's our jam! You look around at your friends. Danny standing by her photographs, Parker by the bar, Tom and Imogen talking off to one side. As long as we're trying to blend in. I know, it's like, uh-oh, it's that song! Uh-oh. Oh, you know we're dancing with Deputy Do-Right over here, right? Totally dancing with Parker. Yes, Tom has a great red suit. You make your way across the room to Parker. May I have this dance? Oh, sure! Parker sits down his drink and follows you onto the dance floor. You put your arms around his broad shoulders and begin to sway to the music. Quick thinking. We'll have a good vantage point from here for any suspicious activity. Of course he's thinking about the job! Is that what you think this is? Parker tilts his head, confused. Oh, he's so cute! What else would it be? We're flirting. What? I know it might be hard to recognize Officer Shaw, but this is what it looks like when someone's into you. You watch a blush creep onto Parker's cheeks. I guess I'm rustier than I thought. I think you just need more practice. Like this. You lean in, Parker's eyes fall to your lips. I've thought about this. You have? For a while now, but I never thought someone like you could... Like someone like me. You mean someone brave and smart and handsome? Parker shakes his head and smiles at you. And he's now only on edge. You're so out of my league, Dwight, Parker says. It's a good thing I hate sports, then. You close the distance between you, your lips brushing his. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Richard standing beside a narrow door, looking furtively around the room. He makes sure he isn't being watched, and then opens the door to hurry a person inside, and then another, and another. Dwight, what is it? You watch Richard look around one last time and scurry through the door, closing it behind him. Richard, he's up to something, come on! You take your dance partner by the hand and head for the door, motioning to your other friends as you go. You stop outside the narrow door, your friends gathering all around you. What's going on, Dwight? What did you see? Richard, he and a bunch of people just went in there. You think they're up to cult stuff? Tom asks. Danny says, well, they're not in there playing patty cake. Imogen says, are we going in there? Aren't they gonna get, like, crazy mad at us? We could just say we got lost looking for the bathroom. Oh, well, if all of you are there, that's gonna be kind of awkward. If we bust in, we have a good chance of catching them in the act of something. I'm behind you, Dwight. Let's do this. You make sure no one's watching you, and after counting to 10, open the door and step inside. Your friend's close behind. We're in the wine cellar. I love this one. I love this area. Hey, Miss Angel, how are you doing? Welcome. There's no one here. You're sure you saw Richard and those people come in here? Positive, Dwight says. Tom says, then they've got to be in here somewhere, unless they've mastered the art of teleportation. Danny says, teleportation. Tom, really? That sounds super neat, but don't you think it'd just be easier to use the door? You all turn and find Imogen pointing at a thin door, partially obscured by wine racks. Bingo! You round the racks and discover the door is locked by an unusual keypad. Oh, okay. Parker says, that's strange. This keypad looks ancient. The keys are made of bronze or copper or something. That's definitely not like any keypad at my house. That's for sure. Those don't even look like numbers. And even if they were numbers, we've got no idea what the code could be unless... Not teleportation, Tom. Aw. Okay, stand back, everybody. I've got this. What are you gonna... Danny pulls the runed stone from her purse. Recognize the seeing stone? Danny, that's brilliant! Yes, I am. Danny puts the stone up to her eye and begins studying the keypad. Let's learn how to teleport, right? What is that? Some kind of magic stone. When you look through it, it shows you mystic auras. That's so bitchin'! Right? Yahtzee! I'm seeing a glow around the symbols that look like an R, a W, and an S. RWS? Those are Robbie's initials! You want to do the honors? Let's see. R. W. S. Can you mess up 3 times here? Don't ask. Oh, you wanted me to mess it up? Oh, I'm sorry. Just to see what happens. A light on top of the keypad blinks green. Oh, okay, yeah, please send me the link. Revealing a dark hallway. You crack the password and open the door. Way to go, Dwight! We're only now on edge. Aw, it's nothing really. Hot, smart, and humble. You are the full package. So who's going through the creepy cult door first? Danny asks. Get behind me. If things go south, remember the signal. Time to see where this rabbit hole goes. Oh, whisper it to me or DM me on Twitter. But yeah, you can send me a whisper here. Parker wedges himself through the door, and the rest of you follow after him. You should be able to send me a whisper here. Oh, okay. Okay, so nothing terribly exciting. We're not going to die like we did in the last stream. Oh. Before you is a dimly lit hallway, countless closed doors stretching off on either side. Who even needs this many doors? What is this, a boarding school for wayward cultist youth? We should split up. Choose one each. It's the fastest way to search them. Keep your eyes peeled. Any sign of danger, you alert the others. Got it? Copy that, Captain. Tom says. You and your friends break apart, each taking a door. You open the first door on your left and click on the light. The room is unoccupied and dusty from disuse. All clear. Looks like some kind of guest room. Imogen says, I found a watch collection. Like, seriously, it's all watches. What's with rich guys and watches? You return to the hall and close the door softly. All clear here, too. Just the closet. Got another guest room here. Clear. Whoa. Guys, you gotta check this out. What'd you find? You all pile up behind Tom and see an impressive display of weapons and relics. I think we found the treasure room, you guys, Tom says. The five of you slowly wander inside, gaping at the amassed collection. They range from crumbling mass to polished glaives, some fearsome and deadly looking, others fragile and beautiful. Wow! These artifacts are practically ancient. They belong in a museum, not some guy's basement. Danny pulls out the rune stone and squints through it at the glass displays. Holy crap! This place is lit up like Times Square! There's enough magic in here to power the whole damn town! You wander between the displays, inspecting the various items. Examine the beautiful orb. You hear a whistle of admiration and turn to find Danny observing the orb through her seeing stone. That baby's glowing like the 4th of July! It's practically vibrating with magic! Can you tell what it is? What it's used for? Your guess is as good as mine. Cult stuff? Cult stuff. Imogen drifts over to a display and places her hand on the glass. Her eyes go unfocused, mouth falling partially open. You carefully make your way over to her. Find something interesting? Imogen snaps out of her daze and smiles sheepishly at you. Oh, I don't know. I just sort of felt drawn here. Examine the mysterious artifact. What are they? Bolas. Ranchers used to use them to catch cattle. And you know that because... I grew up around horses, duh! It's the strangest thing, though. It's almost like... This is gonna sound super weird, but it's almost like it's calling to me. You watch as a rune carved into the bolus glows faintly. Bolus is a really unfortunate term. You found another rune item. Grabbing the runed bolus from Imogen will bring you one step closer to unlocking the special outfit. Okay. Sure. Why not? Okay. Okay, I got him. I got him this time. Why don't you keep them? You think I should? With all the stuff in here, they probably won't even notice they're gone. Besides, you never know when you might have to stop something from getting away. Or someone. Imogen carefully removes the glass case and reverently picks up the gleaming bolus. Imogen's locked and loaded at least. I don't know what it is, but this somehow feels... This feels right somehow. Alright, so we got the bolus, we got the skeleton key. Alright. Weapon acquired. And we have now unlocked the second piece of the outfit. Cool. You have collected the second rune. This stuff is cool and all, but does any of it prove Sir Smarmy is up to no good, Danny asks. Parker says, unfortunately, none of this is actually illegal. You say that, but this wallpaper should definitely be considered a crime. Sick burn, Imogen. We should keep going. The longer we stay here, the higher our chances of being caught. Dwight's right. Let's get moving, people. Everybody leaves the artifact room, remembering to close the door behind you. You continue down the hall until you spot a door with a reinforced brass doorknob and lock. Hey, come check this out. You don't find that sort of thing at your local Home Depot. Oh, this is most definitely the final boss door. But unless somebody has a key they haven't told us about, I don't see how we're getting in here. You mean a key like this? Skeleton key. The bolas are my personal favorite, personal best diamond purchase. Oh, okay. Imogen pulls the skeleton key from a discreet pocket in her dress. Is that a skeleton key? A Cosmo girl never leaves home without one. Imogen slides the key into the lock. It resists turning at first, but then unlocks with a satisfying click. Imogen is now only on edge. Voila! Dwight gains 5 points. I knew that key would come in handy. Imogen used the skeleton key to sneak you through the secret door. Key master. Are you the gatekeeper? Sorry. Imogen removes the key and tries the knob. It turns easily. Are we really doing this, you guys? We've come this far. I'm not turning back now, Danny says. Whatever's behind that door, Richie Rich does not want people seeing it. So that's exactly where we need to go, Tom says. The least secret door of the secret doors, though. Yeah. Time's wasting, people. Dwight, whatever answers we find in there, they might not be the answers you're looking for. Yes, it is. Are you sure you want to do this? Is it what I want? It doesn't matter. Everyone is here tonight because they want answers. Because they want to protect people or stop bad things from happening. Even if we find nothing, that's one more box we could check off our list. Dwight's right, Tom says. I've been investigating for a while, and even dead ends can help point you in the right direction. Okay then, let's find out what Richard's hiding, Parker says. One by one, you disappear behind the door and close it as softly as you can behind you. Ooh, look at that! So there's a round table in the center with some red plush chairs with leather backs, and the symbol on the table looks like that bear claw. Or, you know, it's a circle with like 3 triangle shapes. It looks like a bear claw on the top of the table. So it's really interesting. It's like a whole little wood kind of a drawing room or something like that. The chairs look comfy. They do. Yes, they do. You find yourselves on the balcony overlooking a dimly lit room paneled in expensive mahogany. What is this Parker says, "Shh! Get down!" Parker drags you down into a crouch, and you see the hooded figures surrounding the table below. What are they doing? Imogen asks. Being creepy, Tom said. Slowly, they begin to chant. O Numen Magnus, Audidus, Daad Nobis Vim, Daad Nobis Fortitudinum. Oh boy. That last word kind of like tongue-tied. When it's a cult, but they got good furniture. Hey, that's what having money does for you. Getting culty enough in here for you, Parker? Shh. As the chant continues, you notice the design emblazoned on the polished surface of the table. Recognize the symbol on the cultist table. Why did they have to ruin the resale value of that awesome table? Right? Let's be real, they probably sit on the bear claw too. Probably. Below you, the chant comes to an end. One of the figures steps forward. Welcome, brothers. Power be with you all. We are one with the power. Tonight, we will be discussing several matters of extreme importance. First, the successful suppression of the truth regarding the Garza boy's death. And Imogen gasps. You cover Imogen's mouth quickly before she can cry out. The people below seem to not have heard her outburst and continue. Thank you, leader. It was a simple matter. The public does not want to believe his death could have been anything but an accident. Indeed, our second topic is the most important one at hand. The Vance child. Me? Dwight is thinking. His investigation into our affairs is beginning to compromise our agenda. Do not get ahead of yourselves, brothers. All in due time. Now, let us begin. Before the power, we reveal ourselves. As one, the cultists reach up to their hoods and pull them down. Astrid. It's Imogen's mom. And Vincent. That's Imogen's dad? Yep, mom and dad. Richard. Danny says, Richard! Chief Kelly. Abe? Parker is freaking out a little bit. Your friend's voices fade into the background as your gaze fixes on the fifth figure. For a moment, long moment, you're unable to even process what you're seeing. Is it Grandpa? Then he lifts his head to speak, and the world seems to fall out from under you. Before the power, we are revealed. Grandpa? How did I know? Tom's like, wow, why don't I have a name? Tom is on edge, and he looks mad. Imogen is on edge. Ooh, she don't look happy. Parker's on edge. Danny's on edge. Dwight's on edge. Our group score went up quite a bit, so now we're all on edge instead of rattled. I was ready with the Grandpa voice. I kind of figured it was going to be Grandpa. It's like, come on. Everyone is kind of... everyone mad. Alright, I'm going to leave the music up here for a couple seconds. I'm going to refill my cup. Refill my cup here. And then we'll get into one more chapter. How about that? Alright, give me a couple of minutes. Alright. And we're back. Have a good night, Eric. Thanks for coming to hang out. Appreciate your support. Imagine if Tom was like, Andy! I would die. No, Belbert, no. I would freak out if Andy was in this business. Alright. I got one more chapter in me. Hopefully, you do too. The Floodgates. After a startling revelation, you must fight for your freedom and your life! You sit back in the balcony overhanging the cultists' headquarters, reeling from the discovery that your grandfather is one of them. It's Grandpa! I can't believe it! Now, my brothers, it is time to begin. Dwight, this can't be true. You grasp the railing in front of you, trying to get your thundering heartbeat under control. And your life has 10 chapters left. Yeah. When a hand comes down hard on your shoulder. Hey, what the hell are you kids doing up here? You whip around and find 2 cultists looming over you and your friends. Jenka, Imogen says. The commotion's caught the attention of the cultists below. Imogen? Apprehend them immediately! You're coming with us. Over my dead body, Danny shouts. One guard cracks his knuckles, the other whips out a baton, crackling with electricity. Psst, psst, psst. Examine the stun baton. You all shy away from the sizzling baton, feeling the electricity raise the hairs on your arms. Now, are you gonna come along quietly, or are we gonna have to do this the hard way? We'll come quietly, won't we, guys? Dwight says. Tom says, yeah, not a peep. You and your friends are dragged downstairs by the guards to the assembled circle. Dwight? What are you? How did you get in here? Astrid, that's Imogen's mom, says. No, that's unimportant. Guards, take them to the quiet room. We'll deal with them later. The cultist behind you slams his meaty hand down on your shoulder. You heard the leader. Get moving. Like hell I am. You're not taking us anywhere, Dwight says. I'm gonna punch him in the face. You swing your fist back and your knuckles meet his nose with a loud crunch. Ah! The roadman shouts. Take that, Dwight says. Stop this at once! Astrid shouts. The cultists from the circle begin to advance, and Imogen steps forward, holding, shaking hands out in front of her. Stay back! Imogen, you don't know what you're doing. Get away from these people and come here. Now. Imogen wavers, looking at you, then her parents. I... Don't worry, Vince. I've got this. Richard lifts his hand, striding towards you and your friends. Imogen's bolas suddenly sail through the air and tangle around Richard's ankles. Whoa! Richard shouts. He stumbles and falls to the ground. Ah! I told you to stay back! Astrid raises her voice, and then the sound of it booming and echoing around the room. Breach! There's been a breach in security. Get in here now! The door across the chamber suddenly burst open, countless robed figures streaming into the room. Come on, we gotta get out of here! Shoving aside a cultist, you make a break for the open door behind you. You stumble into the hallway, Parker and Danny close behind, but you glance over your shoulder to find Tom and Imogen struggling against 2 cultists. Tom says, Get off! Keep still. Stop, you're hurting me! Danny says, Hey, hands to yourself, Jonestown! Oof! Oh, ouch! Danny dashes back to their aid, only to have her arms pinned by another cultist. Hey, you've just made a big mistake, buddy. Parker stops, angling himself between you and the door. Go on, Dwight. I'll help them and we'll catch up to you. No, I can't leave you guys, Dwight says. We don't stand a chance if you stay. You'll have to leave and get help. You watch as a cultist guard slips past the Malay in the doorway and charges for Parker. Dr. Waffle says, Jonestown, yes, go off, Danny. I know, right? Parker says, go! He shouts. You hesitate for just a second longer before turning on your heel and running, the sounds of your frantic footsteps echoing off the cold stone walls. It lives beneath. Woo! This is getting exciting! Chapter 8. The Floodgates. You're running, lost, down the menacing maze-like halls. You breathe in real heavy, Dwight. Let's go. You arrive at an intersection. Ahead of you is a spiral staircase leading up. To your left and right, you hear cultists closing in. Hurry! This way! Parker says, Psst! Dwight, over here! You whirl around to find Parker poking his head through a door. Quick, get in! He opens the door wide enough for you to squeeze through. The sounds of footsteps are getting louder. Closer to you, you see a square laundry chute hatch, just large enough for a person to fit through. Hiding with Parker will not only give you an edge on your pursuers, but it'll also give you a chance to cozy up. Why the heck not? You dash over to Parker and push through the door just as the cultists round the corner. You're pressed up against Parker's chest inside a cramped closet. Shh! Ooh, you hear that? Yes. They're about to die. Why are they worried about that? You watch as shadows are cast over the sliver of light from under the door. Where are they? I saw Vance and the big one come this way. I'm going to hold my breath while my heart beats super fast. You stop breathing while the cultists stand just on the other side of the door, but you can't help the way your body trembles. Parker wraps strong arms around your shoulders to keep you still and smiles reassuringly. They can't have gone far. Let's split up and search. You watch the shadows move away and hear their footsteps recede. You exhale deeply, relieved. That was a close call, Parker whispers. Too close if you ask me. Outside, you hear a door bang shut. Parker holds his finger up to your lips. Keep it down, they're still nearby. You get your first real look at the space you're in. Even though there isn't enough light to make out any details, you can see you're in a small supply closet of some kind. How long do you think we'll be in here for? Until they've moved on, so hopefully not long if we're lucky. What happened to the others? Did they escape? I helped Danny and Tom break away, but the last I saw, they still had Imogen. Do you think she'll be okay? Should we go back for her? Her folks might be a criminal element, but they're still her family. She's the safest out of all of us right now. Sure hope you're right about that. Parker tries to readjust his position to something more comfortable and ends up knocking his knees into yours. Sorry about that. It's kind of tight in here. I think it's not so bad with you here. You know, if it weren't for the murderers outside, this'd be, well, nice. This'd be nice. Parker's fingers ghost across your shoulder blades and come to rest at the small of your back. His touch is light, almost unsure. You hear another door bang shut, this one further away. They must have gotten away! The cellar doors are still sealed. At least they haven't escaped. We'll keep the stairs guarded. If they try to get past us, we'll be ready. You listen as the cultists walk down to the end of the hall, the one where you'd seen the ascending spiral staircase. Parker turns away from the door, his face now suddenly inches from your own. What do you think, Dwight? I think we could take those guys. I was thinking the same thing. We'll sneak out, cause a distraction, and then split up. Me on their left, you on their right. That's when we'll strike. What kind of distraction? Parker pulls out a lighter and uses the faint illumination to search the contents of the supply closet. I think I have an idea. Parker cracks the closet door open a sliver, and you can see two cultists guarding the bottom of the spiral staircase. Ready? I just hope this works, Dwight says. Parker holds up a bar of soap he's wrapped in a rag and soaked in lighter fluid. He applies the lighter to it and it instantly catches. Before it has a chance to burn his fingers, he lobs it hard out the door. It crashes into the stone wall with a dull but loud thud. What was that? The cultists see the flaming bundle and rush toward it, crouching down to inspect it with their backs to the closet door. Now, Parker says, What is this? A man says. Before the cultist has a chance to turn around, Parker slams two fists on the back of his neck. The cultist man screams. The man slumps to the floor, unmoving. Barry? The cultist woman says. You launch yourself at the startled cultist, ramming her with your shoulder, tackling her to the ground. Oof! Straddling the woman, you aim a punch at her face, but she deflects the blow. Get off me! She bucks and throws you off, your back painfully hitting the wall. Ugh! She gets to her feet, slips a knife from inside of her robes. Hurrah! She lunges at you with the knife. Trip her! You quickly jut out your leg and her foot catches on it. Whoa! The guard falls forward, her knife hitting the wall with a metallic clang. Ah, damn it! She rights herself and turns back to you, bringing her knife up for another swing. When Parker comes out of nowhere, shoulder checks her hard, knocking her head into the wall. She immediately falls to the ground unconscious. I'm real sorry about that, ma'am. Parker turns to you concerned. You okay? That was terrifying and depressing.
Brace yourself for immediate disintegration.
Hey, Marabanya, thank you for the invasion. You know I love a good invasion. After all, I am a Martian. Who needs safety when you have Kissy? Hey, Bilber. Hey, Drake. Raid, woohoo. Love it. Hello, and hello. Hi, Brad. Welcome to the channel. You're here at a great time. This is an exciting part. We're kind of at a OMG spot. Yeah. Hey, Marbanya. How was your game? And for those who have never been to the channel before, what's up? I am Martian Cat. This game is called... Actually, the game is called Choices, Stories You Play. This book within Choices is called It Lives Beneath. This is a horror story. And we were just in the middle of fighting cultists. Strange stuff is happening here, too. What a coinky-dink. Yes, cultists must die. Yes, they must. That was terrifying and impressive. They teach you that in the Boy Scouts, too? Parker says, football practice. You and Parker took the bad guys by surprise. Parker says, come on. If what they were saying is true, those stairs are our ticket out of here. You and Parker ascend the stairs and reach the slanted double doors at the top. Plus 10 for Parker. You ready to get out of here? Dwight is now coping. Yes! Nerve is gained. I thought you'd never ask. Parker throws the doors open, and you both exit out of into the fresh night air. Whew! You and Parker climb out of the cellar doors and onto the back patio, a breeze off the water cooling your skin. You let out a great sigh of relief. We made it! I can't believe it! We really made it! Parker says, we're not out of the woods yet. Richard says, you! You see Richard and several cultists running across the patio in your direction. Uh-oh, Dwight says. Seize them! Richard shouts. Cultist Thug says, yes, sir! We'll take care of them, boss. I haven't heard this song before. This is cool. One of them snaps out a long black baton. He presses a button and the weapon sizzles with bolts of electricity. Inspect the stun baton. Parker angles himself toward you like he's trying to protect you, but then he whispers, if you distract them, I think I can get my hands on that baton. Then it'll be a real fight. Help Parker get the stun baton. Special item to boost his nerve and give him a major edge in the fight ahead. Heck yeah, we're getting that. That man is capable. Let's get it. I can't get enough of this song, not gonna lie. You nod once to show Parker you understand. He smiles. The cultist with the baton starts to advance on Parker. I wouldn't come any closer if I were you, Dwight says. Oh yeah, and why is that, princess? What a jerk. Because you're about to step on a rattlesnake. Well, what? Where? I hate snakes. Now! Dwight shouts. Parker rushes in and grabs the guard's wrist, twisting it backwards. Ah! The cultist, kind of groans. He drops the stun baton, but the other cultists move in to stop Parker. Dwight! Parker shouts. I'm on it! Dwight shouts back. You dive forward and snatch up the baton, tossing it to Parker. Stun baton! Bzz, bzz, bzz. Parker releases the cultist and whips the baton around, electric charge crackling in the air. Let's do this! Alright, Deputy Do-Right, I like it. I like when you're all like, take charge. Rawr, let's go, buddy. The guards form a semicircle around you, fencing you in. One of the guards' half-screwed flail made from a chain and lock and advances on you. Distract! Watch out! There's a rattlesnake! Seriously, kid, you couldn't even think of one different thing. Just how dumb are you? Out of the corner of your eye, you see Parker advancing. Not as dumb as you, apparently. All yours, officer. Parker jabs the end of the baton into the man's back, and he collapses to the ground in a fit. Parker is now coping. Yes! Things got quite the kick. Dwight says, yeah, no kidding. Parker, look out! The cultist charges at Parker. Rah! A cultist comes lunging at Parker with a knife, and he catches the blade with the baton, sparks shooting off the metal. Damn it! The thug shouts. You try to get to Parker's side, but... Stop right there! The cultist thug shouts. She reaches out and grabs you by the collar. We're gonna headbutt. Do you have any idea how expensive this outfit was? You crash your forehead against the guards. Ow! She shouts. It startles her enough to loosen her grip, and you shake her off. This music, man, is great. Little weasel! The female cultist rights herself and wheels around to face you. You haul back a fist and punch the cultist hard between the eyes. Ugh! She falls to the ground unconscious. That's for my suit, bitch! That's just so funny! That caught me off guard! That caught me off guard. You turned to Parker in time to see him ram the baton into the guard's chest. Sizzling, this thug slumps to the ground. Richard shouts, "Enough!" Shaking with rage, Richard stretches his hand out, fingers splayed wide, and an invisible force slams against you, knocking you and Parker off your feet. This line alone just makes the formal outfit worth 25 diamonds. Yes, it did. The It Lives MCs are always the best bitches. I agree. Dwight says, "Gah!" Parker screams, "Ah!" Parker is sent tumbling over the edge of the patio and out of sight down the hill. You're sent crashing into the pool. You gasp reflexively and feel your lungs fill with water. And you're panicking. Panic, you kick and claw your way back up to the surface. You breach the water and choke on a gulp of air. Kicking your way over to the pool's edge, you cough out the water from your lungs and get your hands on the edge when Richards is standing over you, going somewhere. The heel of Richard's boot crushes into your hand. "Ah!" Dwight growls. Dwight Vance, you come to my town, into my home. You start asking questions, start playing detective, and look where it's gotten you. It's time for you and your little Scooby gang to play for sticking your noses where they don't belong. Oh yeah? Well, you're going to pay. When they find out what you've done, they're gonna lock you up for life. I should have killed you at Mallory's when I had the chance. Richard thrusts his hand into the air, and you're lifted up out of the pool, your feet dangling over the water. Hey, Ozza. Richard's eyes are full of cold fury as he clenches his fists closed. Dwight's down 5 points. You suddenly feel a pressure around your throat like an iron vice. You claw at your neck, but there's nothing there. Yeah, we're in the middle of the 3rd chapter, just about. Say hello to your mother for me. Ooh! Oh! Wait! Wait. Oh, hold up. Ah! Was he one of the ones who killed... Well, he was one of the ones who killed your parents. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, screw you, Richard. Heck yeah. I'm right there with you, Belber. What a jerk. Oh, my gosh. You feel the pressure increase. You thrash and kick, but it only drains your energy faster. Your lungs burning in your chest. And you groan. You hang limply in space, darkness creeping in around your vision. A fist comes flying out of nowhere into Richard's temple and sends him sprawling. Crack! Richard says, "Gah!" The hold on you is immediately released and you go crashing back into the water. When you make it back up to the surface, a worried face is waiting for you. "You okay, kid?" It's Grandpa. Grandpa thrusts his hand out, waiting for you to take it. We'll take his hand. You take his hand and he hefts you out of the pool with surprising strength. There's nothing between you and the gate out of the property. You make a break for it. But Grandpa takes hold of your wrist, his grip shockingly strong. "Dwight, wait! You can't go out there!" "Let go of me!" Dwight shouts. "It's dangerous out there! You have to believe me!" "Believe you? You're a liar! Everything you ever said to me has been a lie! I don't even know who you are!" "You don't know what you're talking about! Listen to me, Dwight!" With the last of your energy, you shake your arm free of his grasp and run for the gate. "Dwight!" You vault over the low, wrought iron gate and dash out into the dark night. "I have to get Elliot and get the hell out of this town!" You run into the woods, as long and hard as your legs can carry you. Oh, I love this piece of music. Yes! By the time you get back to the house, your lungs are on fire from running. Elliot, I have to find Elliot. You round the corner of the house and find him sitting on the porch. He does a double take in your direction. What happened to you? I have to leave. What? Struggling to catch your breath, you lean against the rail as you finish rounding the porch and realize Elliot isn't alone. Robbie says, "What's going on?" Robbie? What are you doing here? Robbie blushes. Elliot clears his throat, about to make something up, but you wave it off. Dwight says, "Never mind. It doesn't matter. We need to go right now." Go where? As far from this town as possible. What are you talking about? I'll explain on the way. You step toward Elliot, but Robbie stands up, blocking your path. Okay, let's just calm down. Elliot doesn't have to go anywhere he doesn't want to. Robbie! We don't have time for this. Our lives are in danger. The serious, happening right frickin' now kind of danger. From what? Elliot asks. The people who murdered Ned Mallory. Elliot rises to his feet, confused and afraid. What? What are you? Elliot, listen to me! Talk later! Run now! Robbie takes a step back, shaking his head. This is crazy! You're acting crazy! I'm calling the cops! A bitter laugh escapes your lips. Yeah, good luck with that! Robbie takes off down the driveway. Elliot starts after him, but you grab his hand. Let's go! Whoa! You take off toward the woods, pulling Elliot behind you. You're deep into the woods when Elliot plants his feet and drags you to a stop. Okay, that's enough. We have to keep moving if they find us. No, I'm not taking one more step until you tell me what the hell is going on. Elliot. Grandpa's been lying to us. I saw a bunch of people kill a man, Elliot. I saw it. And when me and my friends looked into who they are, we found out Grandpa is one of them. And Ned saw not the only person they've killed. What? What are you talking about? These people, they're part of a cult, and they have this symbol they wear on their robes. Elliot slowly shakes his head. Dude, no, come on. It's the same one, Elliot. The one Mom drew when she died. These people are the ones who killed our parents. Stop it, Dwight. Just stop. What? Look, I know you've been hurting more than you admit. I figured you were just trying to protect me or whatever. What? No, Scooter, this isn't about... You're looking for somebody to blame because they never found the people that hurt Mom and Dad. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. But you can't deal with it by calling our grandpa a murderer, no matter how much of a dumb jerk he is. So what? You're saying I'm making this all up? You're calling me a liar? No, I'm saying you're confused or something. You're getting your bad dreams mixed up with the reality again. I can tell the difference between dreams and reality, Elliot. Elliot pulls back from you, hugging his arms around his thin frame. Look, I'm gonna go home, and I think you should too. We'll both feel better after we get a good night's sleep, okay? You watch as he begins to slowly walk back the way you came. Wait! Don't you trust me? Elliot hesitates, his back rigid, his shoulders hunched. It's not about that. Yes, it is. Remember when you were little? You always listened to me. Did I ever lie to you? You did tell me once, Pop Rocks and Coke would make my stomach explode. I'm serious, Elliot. I've never lied to you about something like this. Why would I start now? I mean, I guess, but... No, you guess. This is life and death stuff. I'm not making it up. So I'm gonna ask you again, do you trust me? Yeah, always. Then come with me. It's that important to you, huh? You have no idea. Elliot's still for a moment, and then releases a drawn-out sigh. Okay, I'll come, but I bet you anything tomorrow morning you'll see what a butt you're being, and we'll come straight back here. All I want is for us to leave now, that's all. Elliot casts a last look over his shoulder and then steps back over to you. Yeah, alright, I could do that. You both resume walking, slower now, in the same direction you were heading. So what's the plan here? I hadn't really gotten that far yet. Step one was get out of town. Well, we're like strolling through the middle of the woods in the middle of the night, so... A sudden movement in the brush makes you both stop short. What was that? Elliot asks. Shh, Dwight says. The rustling of leaves, a snapping of twigs sound again, closer this time. You motion for Elliot to stay still and start to slowly creep forward, every muscle in your body tensing. Hoo! Hoo! What in the world? Hoo! Hoot! It's an owl. Dwight screams. Elliot screams. A blur of brown and white bursts from the darkness like a round, feathered projectile. It flounders for a moment in confusion before finally alighting on Elliot's shoulder. Its little talons digging into his t-shirt. Holy hell, that thing almost gave me a heart attack, Dwight says. Who doesn't love a feathered friend? I don't like birds. I don't like birds. I heard you don't like birds. I do not like birds. Knock knock. Ah, get off! Elliot turns in a circle, flapping his arms and trying to dislodge the owl. But the determined bird clings on. Oh, you should! The owl hoots. Dwight, help me! Dwight says, aw, looks like she likes you, don't you, little buddy? What should I do? Befriending this woodland creature will help you gain nerve and might even aid you in dire circumstances. No, that's okay. We don't like birds in this house. You sigh and make a shooing motion in the owl's direction. Okay, get out of here, you. Are owls birds? Yes. Yes, I do not like birds. I would never hurt one, but I'm not a fan. Come on, I said get. Suddenly, the owl puffs up, startled. Hoo! With a violent rush of wings, she leaps into the air and sails off into the night. What about Hawkeye and the crown and the flame? No. Really? Hey, I don't begrudge anybody liking birds. Birds are very pretty from afar. But right now, our score is pretty good. We really don't need the owl. Jeez, you really scared her. I'm not sure I'm the one that scared her. What do you... The woods erupt with the flutters and shrieks of 100 birds taking flight. A branch snaps somewhere close by. They pooped on one of my drawings once. What was that? It's the cult. They found us. You turn to run and find an antlered silhouette approaching through the woods. Dwight? That doesn't look like a cult. A sickly sweet scent fills the air, rotten flesh and damp musky fur. With an odd shuffling gait, something shoulders out of the brush. What the heck? What in the world? The strange beast. Looks like a two-headed undead deer with snakes coming out of its fur and moss growing and it's an elk. Two-headed elk. It's gross. Yuck. Legit, I was lucky and I threw away the drawing. Yeah, no, I was attacked. That's what happened. So it's like, okay, so when I was a kid, one time I got chased by a pigeon. That happened. And then I was riding my bike and this thing was like flying after me. I didn't even touch it. I hadn't messed with it or nothing. It was like following me. And then it pooped on my head. That was the worst. That was the worst thing ever. And then one of my cousins had like a little, I forget what the type of bird is, but had a little bird, and I was already scared of birds, and it would like attack me when I would come to the house. It's horrible. Just horrible. They are defending their nest. Nah, not this time. No, I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old or something, riding my bike, and I could see the bird flying
Brace yourself for immediate disintegration.
Just, like, chasing me down. Girls Game 2. Thank you for the invasion. We love a good invasion. After all, we are Martians. And I love it when local streamers pop by. Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome, Raiders. I am Martian Cat. If you've never been to my stream before, I am a variety streamer. I play usually story-heavy games, multiplayer and single-player. This game is called Choices, and the book within it is called It Lives Beneath, and that's what we're playing right now. What the heck is that? Keep your voice down, don't move, Dwight, Dwight says. The creature steps forward, one head watching you while the other shakes off dew. Steam huffs from 4 nostrils and holes in both throats. The elk monster huffs. The creature rakes a hoof in the dirt, lowering its head toward the ground, and then lets out a demonic high-pitched bugle and charges. Dwight! Get behind me! You grab a rock off the ground, and as the creature barrels towards you, you throw it at the right head. Hi! Hello, Girls Game 2, how you doing? You dodge a pair of antlers and smash the rock across the monster's right head. And it growls. But the left head rears suddenly toward you. Dead-eyed serpents lunge toward your face. And Dwight screams. And Elliot screams, Dwight, look out! You stagger backwards and hit the ground. Elliot grabs a tree limb and leaps to your defense, swinging wildly. Back off! And the elk monster huffs at him, and you scramble to your feet as the monster backs Elliot toward a tree, and branches snap all around you as more creatures shamble forward. Oh no! It's the bear monster! No! It growls. The elk monster growls. Crap! There's more! They're everywhere! The fog around you thickens as a line of silhouettes march out of the forest, driving you and Elliot toward the water. What do we do? We've got to, swim for it. You grab Elliot's hand and run toward the water. In there? At night? I don't like it either, but we don't have a chance. A choice. Suddenly a light begins to bloom underneath the water. Dwight, what am I looking at? Nothing good. The water begins to bubble and boil as the light rises toward you and something rises out of the water. Oh, shoot! Yikes! Ooh! Oh! A skeleton with glowy eyes and crazy hair comes out of the water, and Elliot shrieks, falling backwards onto the shore. What the hell? That's the thing that took Kyle! Mother on a bad day. The lake ghost. The ghost glides through the water, reaching out with bony claws, screeching and retching brackish water. Kill them! Kill them! You instinctively take a step back, and then twist around as heavy footfalls come pounding up behind you. Arrgh! The bear monster growls. Dwight, look out! You dive out of the way, crashing onto your hands and knees in the water, just in time to see the ghost grab Elliot. Dwight! Elliot! The bear creature sloshes into the water, wading toward you. I gotta help Elliot! You lunge out, grabbing Elliot's hand in the roiling surf. Let him go! Drown them. You're not taking my brother! Dwight, behind you! You glance over one shoulder as the shadow looms over you, lifting a huge, shaggy paw. Someone tell her to drop her skincare routine. The bear monster growls. It grabs you by the shoulder, sinking its claws into your flesh and pulling down hard. Dwight screams. Elliot sputters, struggling to keep his head above the water. Dwight, get out of here, run! I'm not leaving you, Dwight shouts. The world goes dark as you're dragged beneath the surface. And you plunge beneath the surface, slamming into the lake bottom as something presses down on your back. And you're thinking, I can't breathe. You lock eyes with Elliot as your grip begins to falter. You thrash, screaming bubbles. No! But Elliot slips away. No, he can't. He can't be. And the air rushes from your lungs. Darkness closes in around you. I think we died. Suddenly, a flash of light bursts above the water. The weight on top of you disappears as the creature holding you is blasted sideways. You sit up, coughing water, and see 3 figures clad in blue striding across the beach toward you. No! Stay away from me! They ignore you, running up until they're almost at the water's edge. One of the cultists breaks off from the rest, lowering her hood to let her blonde hair tumble to her shoulders. You! Secure the perimeter! Yes, leader. Craig, deal with those creatures. On it. And as for you... Astrid levels her gaze toward you, and over your shoulder, you slowly turn around and see Elliot's terrified face, nose inches above the still water, skull gripped by the ghost hunched behind him in the shallows. Dwight! The lake ghost hisses. You lock eyes with the creature, but its blazing eyes glare past you toward Astrid. Astrid's hands close into fist, and her voice cracking across the beach like thunder. Let them go! Chapter 8 complete. That was like, woo! That was pretty exciting. Okay, so let's see where we're at. So that was the end of 8. I don't know. I think I got one more in me. If you think that you can, if you're feeling it, let's go. So what do you think? Do we want to do one more chapter? Because I do have the time to do it. One more? Yes? Alright. Tom is on edge. Imogen is on edge. Parker is coping. Danny is on edge. Dwight is coping. And we're over halfway on our nerve score. We're on edge now. Alright. Well, seems like folks want one more, and I can do that, so. So let's go into chapter 9. Let's see here. What is chapter 9 called? Any Port in a Storm. A tense standoff leads to shifting loyalties when buried secrets burst through the surface. Alright. Excuse me. Alright, let's do one more. And then, we'll call it night. Man, this is like, woo, this is intense. It's so good. Standing in chest-high water, you watch, paralyzed as this terrifying creature lurks in the shallows, holding Elliot's face just above the surface. Help me! Don't move, just hang on, I'm gonna get you out of there! And the lake ghost makes like a hissing noise. But the ghost ignores you, staring over your shoulder at the woman wading toward you. Release the boy, now! Astrid says. It's like a command. The ghost snarls through pointed teeth, the flames in its eyes narrowing to white-hot, it was like a white-hot, I'm sorry, I clicked too fast. I should try to talk to it. No, grab Elliot. Are you kidding me? We're not going to talk to it. You lunge, grabbing Elliot's hand. Give me my brother, you son of a... And the ghost makes a noise. You shove at the creature, but it barely acknowledges you, glaring at Astrid as its claws tighten on Elliot's head. His nose dips below the surface. Can't breathe. Elliot! Dwight shouts. The monster turns toward you, and for just a moment its eyes focus on yours with something like recognition. Dwight, get down! Astrid shouts. You turn just in time to see Astrid hurl something. A black knife whips past your face and into the ghost, which bursts into purple flames. Nah! The ghost angrily recoils in pain, hurling Elliot into you. Oof! I've got you! You grab Elliot and struggle towards shore. The ghost writhes behind you, screeching and burning as it recedes into the water. Kill them! With one last ripple, the creature slips under, beneath the waves. Voice an echoing whisper on the wind. Kill them all. Elliot sputters, coughing up water. Well, what was that? I don't know. Come on, Dwight says. You drag Elliot onto the shore and fall to your knees in the mud. The monsters that attacked you in the woods are nowhere to be seen. Astrid approaches, a concerned expression on her face. Are you two okay? Astrid? Why did you save us? What do you mean? I mean, you're a bunch of murderers. What do you want with us? Murderers? Dwight, I promise you, this is all a misunderstanding. We're not the bad guys here. The hell you're not? You people tried to kill us like half an hour ago, and you did kill Ned Mallory, and you murdered our parents. We what? You stab a finger toward the symbol on Astrid's robe. That symbol is the last thing our mom drew before she died, so we know who killed her. Astrid's eyes widen in horrified realization. Dwight, you have this all wrong. Your mother wasn't trying to implicate us. She was one of us. Woo! Yikes! because a symbol is better than writing it in words. Well, I mean, she did, like, scrawl it into the carpet in her own blood. So, I don't think she had much time to really think too hard about it. About what she did, what she put in there, you know? One second. Alright. Any Port in a Storm, Chapter 9. A short while later, you and Elliot follow Astrid back to Richard Sutcliffe's mansion, flanked by hooded goons. Well, what are you going to do to us? We're not going to do anything, Elliot. We're just going to straighten things out. Everyone is on the same side here. So what was up with Richard's comment about their mom? That's an interesting way of describing what's happening right now. Some people would just call it kidnapping. And some people would call what you did tonight breaking and entering. Would you like to trade barbs all night? As you approach the doors, two figures emerge from the trees and make their way towards you. Leader? There you are. What happened with those creatures? We killed a few. The rest took off into the woods when that thing went back into the lake. Should we round up a crew and go after them? No, that's enough for now. They can't stray far from their master normally, and they'll be even weaker now. I heard her tonight. It won't be enough to stop her, or those beasts, but it should quiet things down for a few days. Were you able to capture any of the creatures like I asked? Craig kind of grunts. Astrid's bodyguard lifts a fist, displaying a steel cage with a strange creature inside. What the heck? It's some weird bunny with 6 eyes and antlers and stuff. Yikes. Oh, God. Ugh. You lean close, peering inside, then jump back as the creature dives toward the bars, screeching. A jackalope. Scree! Whoa! Dwight shouts. Disgusting creature, Astrid says. Come on, let's get inside. You follow Astrid and the others inside. Through the mansion, down the secret corridor, and back into the cult lair where you find... Dwight! It's Imogen. You move past Astrid and into a group hug with your friends. We were so worried, Parker says. Tom, they put us in some weird sub-basement and wouldn't tell us anything. Danny says, are you two okay? We're fine, Dwight says. Elliot, just very confused. Behind you, Astrid takes the rabbit creature from her bodyguard and holds it out to a subordinate. Here, take this thing away from me. What are we supposed to do with it? I want to know how these creatures are being created and controlled. And why this one seems so broken. The creature blinks vacantly, one eye at a time. Astrid says, do what you have to do. As the hooded figure takes the cage, the creature inside rakes its antlers against the bars, upset. Squeak, squeak! At your side, Elliot frowns. Poor thing. That poor thing just tried to bite my face off a couple minutes ago. I know, but I feel kind of bad for it. It seemed scared. Elliot and the creature make eye contact as the cultists carry it away. We are... No! Oh, no! No, we're not. We're not doing that. No! You did not rescue the jackalope. Yeah, jackanope. Yeah, no thank you. I'm good. I'm good on the zombie bunny thing. Nah. Sorry, a pet zombie bunny is the last thing we need to worry about right now. Yeah, I mean, between the owl and the zombie bunny thing, nah, I would have taken the owl. I hate how they guilt you with the sad face. I know, I felt so bad, but no. Yeah. The figure with the cage gives Astrid a tight nod, and then disappears down a corridor. Suddenly, a set of doors opens, and cultists begin to enter. Among them are Vincent and Chief Kelly. Man, you weren't kidding. The whole town really is in on it. You spot your grandpa heading your way. Dwight! Elliot! You're okay! No, stop right there. Don't take another step. Grandpa hesitates, looking to you for help, but as Richard enters the chamber, you feel your fists clench. Elliot's right. Nothing is settled yet. You have a lot of explaining to do. They all do, Parker says. Parker glares at Chief Kelly as you and the cultist array on opposite sides of the table, trading suspicious glances. Mom, Dad, it's time you explain what's going on. What is all this freaky cult stuff? We're not a cult, dear. Our organization is called the Society. Because that sounds less culty. You know. That sounds less culty. Yeah, that doesn't seem sinister at all, Danny says. And what exactly is the point of this society? Aside from covering up murder, I mean, Parker says. Chief Kelly says, we're protectors, Parker. No different than the police. It's just two different uniforms. Don't you dare! The two are nothing alike! Everyone, please, Astrid says. Astrid sighs and then looks you in the eyes. The Society was founded not long after Pine Springs by a group of people who recognize the power that resides within the lake. That power is what allows us to nurture and protect this town, and in return, we guard it against any who would seek to exploit it. Astrid, why does the town need to be guarded? You saw for yourself, the power here is volatile. It could just as easily make monsters as miracles. Our job is to stop that from happening. If what you're saying is true, then why all the secrecy? The more people find out about this place, the greater the danger. The last thing we need is a repeat of what happened in Westchester. How do you know about that? Tom asks. We keep an eye on things, Chief Kelly says. I don't care about any of this. Just tell me why my mom drew their symbol. Tell me who murdered my parents. Elliot says. An awkward silence settles in. Astrid chooses her next words carefully. Unfortunately, our membership isn't immune to temptation. A few of our number got greedy, took more of the power than they needed or could handle, and killed anyone who got in the way. Are you telling us there's a cult within the cult? Real convenient, Danny says. Tom says, well, what? Do they have another hideout around here? Maybe inside a broom closet? It's not a joke. It's taken us years to discover them, and they've hurt a lot of people in the meantime, Astrid says. Vincent, that creature in the lake, she was one of them. She played with forces she didn't understand, and they changed her. If all this is true, then why try to kill us earlier? It was my intention for you to be captured, not harmed. You have my apologies if some of our number were a little overzealous. Overzealous? You've got to be kidding me! So was it the overzealous people, or the secret traitors who killed our parents and Ned? Hooded figures trade suspicious glances. Dwight, Ned's not dead. Yes, he is. I saw it happen. Ned was attacked, but he didn't die. Whoever it was botched the job. That night, Ned called me at my personal number. He was frantic, barely breathing, and when I got there, I found him half dead. I used the power to heal him, and The next day, I got him out of town, so whoever attacked him couldn't finish the job. Kelly's gaze hardens. But if you know anything about who did it, Dwight, you need to tell me that right now. Your eyes flick toward Richard. He looks confused and alarmed. Kelly? I don't trust you. Kid, I don't give a damn who you trust. If you have evidence of who attacked that man, well, you will tell me. Why, so you can brush me off again? No, because if you don't, I'll arrest you for obstruction of justice. Yeah, I'd love to see the police report on that one, genius, especially the part with the ghost skeleton. You think this is some kind of game? Parker's voice splits the air. It was Richard Sutcliffe! All eyes whip toward Richard, who takes a step backwards. Oh, this is ridiculous! I'm leaving! No, you're not, Parker says. Richard moves toward the door, so does Parker. They lock eyes and a sharp tension fills the air. Is that okay, Dwight? All about? Yeah! Chief Kelly says, now hang on, let's all calm down. Dwight, this is a very serious accusation. Do you have any proof? Proof? I'll give you proof. His head injury. That bump on his head, I'm the one who gave it to him. Well, what? This? It's nothing. I slipped and fell in the shower. Really? That's interesting. I heard you tell the bartender at Hank's you bumped it on a window. Which is it? Danny asks. It's neither. He bumped it on my foot when I kicked him in the face. Richard's eyes blaze. The table between you surges sideways, clattering across the room. That's enough! Astrid shouts. Richard whirls, moving away as the others round on him. You idiot! You stupid, reckless little fool! Vincent says. Richard says, what the hell are you? It's not like it was my idea. If I were you, I'd stop talking right about now, Chief Kelly says. Richard says, it wasn't just me. They were there too. Everything falls very silent as Richard gestures at Astrid's bodyguard, Craig. And your grandpa. And Craig looks shocked. God damn you, Richard! That's it! You're all under arrest! Hooded figures begin to close around the three men. Your grandpa pulls a strange wrench from his robe. He holds the weapon out in front of him warningly as hooded figures surround him. Now wait just 1 second! Grandpa, you were there that night at Ned's house? You were one of them? But that means... You're the one who brought me home! You saved me! You killed a man and then saved me? You what? Richard says. Dwight, listen to me. The truth is... Cause the chief was so against everything before. I know, right? But Craig shoves him to the ground with an angry roar. Hurrah! Oof! Craig charges across the room straight at Astrid. Astrid, look out! Chief Kelly shouts. Imogen shouts, Mom! All hell breaks loose. Hooded figures converge on Craig, who flings them aside like ragdolls. In the chaos, Richard runs for the exit. Tom says he's making a break for it. I don't think so. Imogen? Dwight shouts. On it! Imogen pulls out her bolus and begins to unwind them. Hey, I thought they confiscated those. Well, I confiscated them back. She raises the bolus above her head and begins to spin them. There's no way you're going to hit him with those again. Imogen steps forward and brings her arm down. The bolus sailed through the air, tangling around Richard's torso. Ah, what the hell again? He staggers, off balance, as the balls whirl around him, lashing his arms to his sides. Imogen used her weapon. You were saying? Danny gains 5 points. She says, nice. Parker steps into Richard's path. Hi there. I love the bolus so much. I know. They've definitely come in handy. Parker's hand comes out from behind his back and flicks out the stun baton. What the hell? We searched you for weapons. Yeah, about that. Parker clicks the baton on with the crackle of electricity and jabs it into Richard's stomach. Gah! Richard hits the ground, muscles twitching. Parker leans down over him, smirking. When the person you're searching for weapons, weapons is a cop, take a couple of extra seconds and do it right. Tom says, "Dude, that ruled!" Dwight says, "Nice work, everybody." Kelly appears suddenly, dragging Richard up off the ground. "Come on, you! Get off me!" He grumbles into silence as the handcuffs click around his wrists. Nearby, Imogen runs to her parents. "Mom! Dad!" Vincent sweeps her into a hug. Not far away, Craig groans on the ground as Astrid presses a heeled shoe into his chest. "Holy crap! Imogen's parents are beasts!" Tom says. Suddenly, you hear a cry. "Dwight!" It's Elliot. You follow Elliot's gaze to where a circle of cultists have your grandfather surrounded. "Get away from me!" He swings his glowing wrench warningly. Blue sparks slash through the air. "We have to do something!" "Stay back, I've got this." You push through the crowd. "Grandpa!" "Dwight!" "It's time to stop this. Enough lies, enough secrets. Tell me the truth. Did you murder Mom and Dad?" "No, I wasn't involved in that." "But you knew about it." Your grandpa's expression falters, a flicker of sorrow in his eyes. "Dwight, you have to understand." A hand clamps down on his shoulder. "Enough lies, Arthur. It's time to tell your grandchildren the truth." Your grandpa's eyes flash defiant. His upper lip twitches with rage and remorse. Vincent says, "It's time to tell all of us the truth." Vincent's grip tightens, and your grandpa finally relents. He drops his wrench with a heavy sigh. Dwight, it's true. All of it. The three of us tried to murder Ned. And we killed your mom and dad. It was us. It was me." Elliot comes up alongside you, tears in his eyes. "Why? Why would you do that?" Your grandpa lifts his gaze, face twisted with rage. "Because we ain't as young as we used to be, and some of us don't intend on dying anytime soon. But that kind of power takes work. It takes blood and risk and sacrifice. Something some of us used to understand." Your grandpa shoots Astrid a hateful glare. She stares back, lip trembling, gaze icy and contemptuous. "I tried to bring your mother in on things, but she was too weak, too scared. She left me, left us, ran away like a damn coward. But then she threatened to expose everything. Said she'd tell the society about us, tell the world about Pine Springs. So I fixed it." Vincent shouts, You monster!" "Grandpa, you bastard! We trusted you!" "You murdered your own daughter? How could you do that and live with yourself?" Elliot asks. You study your grandpa's eyes for any hint of remorse, but his expression is cold and cruel and empty. "There's nothing left to say." "I can think of something," Parker says. Parker steps out of the crowd, face hard with righteous fury. "You're under arrest." "Damn right he is. How's conspiracy to commit murder sound, Arthur?" Chief Kelly says. Your grandpa goes silent, gritting his teeth, as Vincent shoves him to the ground, and Chief Kelly slaps a pair of handcuffs on him. "Hell, as a matter of fact, I'm feeling generous. Murder charges for everyone." With a sign from Kelly, society members drag the three conspirators to their feet. "Parker, go bring my patrol car around. We got garbage to take out." A few minutes later, Out on the patio, you all take a moment to catch your breath. So, that happened, Elliot says. Is anybody else, really tired? Danny asks. Tom says, and slightly confused? Imogen says, I wouldn't say slightly. Nearby, Parker and Kelly lead the three conspirators toward an open patrol car. Chief, just to be clear, this doesn't settle everything. I still have some questions. You and I have a lot we need to talk about. You bet we do, but right now, what I need is a good night's rest. Let's get these three down to the station and put them in the drunk tank. We can process them tomorrow. As Parker stuffs Richard into the back of the car, Elliot nudges your side. You turn to see Robbie wandering across the patio, confused. Hey! What the hell? Dad? Robbie runs toward the car, but Chief Kelly intercepts him. Whoa, easy there, kiddo. What's going on? I called you guys about Dwight. Why are you arresting my dad? Astrid makes her way over, looking concerned. Robbie, there's some things you need to know about your father. As she gently leads him away, Elliot turns to you. I should go talk to him. I'll go with you. I need to talk to my mother anyway. Parker's not the only one who still has questions. You give Imogen a thankful nod as she and Elliot head toward Robbie and Astrid. Oh, I just remembered. I picked this up during all the commotion, Tom says. Tom reaches into his jacket and pulls something out. It's a weird wrench. That's the thing your grandpa was raving around, Danny says. What's this weird symbol on it? No idea. I'm assuming they're like magic or something. Do you think we should keep it or hand it over to the yuppie Illuminati? We're keeping it. Tell Tom to keep the rune wrench. A weapon may come in handy, and that rune will bring you one step closer to unlocking the mysterious case in your grandpa's house. Heck yeah, we're taking it. You should keep it. I have a sneaky suspicion a blunt object is going to come in handy before all this is over with. Of all the things to bewitch, they chose a wrench. Only reason why I could think that he chose a wrench is because he works on boats, and it's something that he would have with him all the time. So that's just my guess. Tom is now coping. Tom looks around and then quietly stuffs the wrench back in his jacket. We got 3 of the 5 locks open. You've collected the 3rd rune. Danny says, cool, next time a monster attacks, you can tighten it slightly. On that note, who wants to walk me home? Dwight says, you guys go ahead. I'm going to wait for Elliot. We have a lot to talk about. Tom pats you gently on the shoulder, and Danny gives you a hug. They say their goodbyes and then leave you standing alone. What a night. A few minutes later, you spot Elliot heading your way, accompanied by Vincent. How's Robbie? Dwight asks. Elliot says, about as well as me, so not great. Did you like my reason, Dr. Waffles? Did you like my reason? I'd like to give you both a ride home if that's all right with you, Vincent says. We can walk, Dwight says. There's a discussion that needs to happen at some point about what Arthur's arrest means for you and Elliot legally. And I just so happen to be a lawyer. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. The 3 of you head for Vincent's car. As the car threads through town, Elliot sits quietly in the back while you and Vincent talk up front. So what happens next here? Next, we charge your grandfather with murder. And since Elliot's still a minor, his custody will go to his closest next of kin. That's me. You don't have anyone else? Aunts? Uncles? Anyone? You and Elliot make eye contact in the rearview mirror. No, it's just us. I'm sorry. Fortunately, that will make things a little trickier, even for a sibling. Attaining guardianship over a minor is complicated. There are responsibilities involved, certain bars you have to meet with regard to things like housing and financial stability. Oof, Dwight says. Vincent says the other option is to have Elliot emancipated. What does that mean? Elliot asks. You'd be declared an adult in the eyes of the law. That means you'd be in charge of your own decisions and accountable for them. For you, Dwight, that would mean a loss of any legal authority over Elliot. So, for example, if Elliot were to decide he wanted to move to Las Vegas and become an Elvis impersonator, you would have no say in the matter. So, what's the best choice? Dwight asks. That's entirely up to the two of you, Vincent says. Elliot looks to you. Oh boy. I feel like that Elvis example is oddly specific. I know it's like, was that you at one time? Were you thinking about running to Elvis and becoming an Elvis impersonator? Running to Vegas and becoming an Elvis impersonator? Yeah. That was a very specific, very specific example. Hey, Jingo, what do you think? Should we be Elliot's guardian? Should we emancipate him, or we're not sure? Emancipate him? All right. Seriously? I know it's scary, but you can handle it, and it's not like I won't be there to help. Yeah, I guess so. Elliot crosses his arms and sits back, looking suddenly very small. Well, whatever you decide, I'd be happy to lend my services pro bono. We owe your mother that much. It's almost midnight when the car pulls up outside the house. Exactly. If he's emancipated, that doesn't mean he couldn't leave with MC and stuff. Exactly. It's not like, he's all of a sudden, like, out on the street. It's almost midnight when the car pulls up outside the house. Elliot heads inside. You pause by Vincent's window. Thank you for the ride and the advice. Vincent says, of course, but listen, there is one other thing I wanted to ask you about. Now that all this ugliness is done with, Astrid and I will be inviting Imogen to join the society. Assuming she agrees, there will be a small ceremony tomorrow evening, and I'm sure Imogen would appreciate you being there, especially since the two of you are involved. We're not. We're not involved, though. I have a question. Why does Imogen need to join the society? We were always planning to invite her one day, but we just lost 3 members in one night. We need all the help we can get. Why? Because this isn't over. Vincent fixes you with a serious stare over the top of his glasses. Whether or not you choose to stay in Pine Springs is your business, but the rest of us still have monsters to deal with. I'll be there for Imogen. After that, no promises. Fair enough. Vincent rolls up the window and drives off. You take a deep breath of the cool night air and then make your way toward the house. Upstairs, you find Elliot lying in bed. There you are. How you feeling, Scooter? Peachy. Come on, don't be like that. Talk to me. How would you even invite your daughter into that? Hey, so come to this suspicious meeting where all of us wear robes. I know, right? It's like, that's a lot to put on somebody's shoulders right there, That's a lot. And he's staring at the ceiling. I don't know what to do with all this. I felt like I was just getting to know Grandpa Arthur, but we didn't know him at all. What even happens now? Where do we go from this? You take Elliot's hand. I think, you know what? We're gonna stay. We'll make a life here. How would that even work? What are we gonna do for money? I'll get a job. What about college? Or where would we live? I can go to school online and we can live here. This doesn't suddenly become our house just because he goes to jail. Arthur still owns this place. We'll figure it out. And if not, we've got friends with mansions now. I'm sure Imogen has a pool house or something. It's probably bigger than this one. But what if... Elliot, listen to me. It's almost midnight and we're both exhausted. We don't have to plan our entire lives right this second. We'll figure it out, one step at a time, together. Let's get some sleep. The world will look a little brighter in the morning. I hope so. You give Elliot a hug and then turn off the lights and crawl into bed. You're asleep within minutes. A rose-pink sunrise trickles in through the window, gradually bringing you awake. You glance towards Elliot's bed. He's still asleep. You snuggle the blankets up to your chin, blearily reaching for your phone. The clock reads 5:52, and above that, a text from Imogen? Hey, you up? Weirdly, yes. What's up? I woke up early. I can't get back to sleep. I guess your parents talked to you about joining their secret club? Yeah. How are you feeling? Lots of texts. Imogen is now coping. Dwight says LOL. Imogen texts back, TBH, I'm kinda nervous. To be honest, TBH. But also excited. And about 50 other things in between. How about you? Waiting for the other shoe to drop. What do you mean? Not sure yet, but I have a feeling I'll know it when I see it. And Imogen puts up a little sad face. By the way, BTW, you're coming tonight, right? Yeah, I'll be there. Thank you! Do you want to maybe get dinner or something beforehand? I could use someone to talk to about all this. And chocolate. Preferably in the form of ice cream. Which I can be persuaded to share. Want to get dinner with Imogen? It's a great chance for you two to talk and maybe more. Nah. I'll take a rain check, thanks. I'm gonna spend the day with Elliot. No problem. Totally get it. See you tonight. You drop your phone somewhere into the blankets and drift back off to sleep. A few hours later, you and Elliot drag yourselves downstairs and into the kitchen. How do you feel about coffee? Good. How do you feel about waffles? Great. How do you feel about marathoning as many Harry Potter movies as we can before we get sick of Daniel Radcliffe's voice? Now you're speaking my language, Dwight says. You and Elliot spend the day watching movies, eating snacks, and doing absolutely nothing. As afternoon turns into evening, you get ready to head out. I'll be back in a few hours. Lock the doors and text me if you need anything. I'll be okay. You start toward the door. Hey, Dwight? Yeah? I've been meaning to tell you something. Elliot searches for the right words. I know everything that's happened has been hard on you, and I probably haven't made it any easier. Elliot, don't worry about it. Everybody deals with things differently. Don't beat yourself up. Elliot nods quietly. Anyway, point is, I just wanted to say thank you for being there. I can't even imagine if I had to go through all this alone. Come here, nerd. You cross the room again and pull Elliot into an obnoxious, smothering hug. Ah, never mind. I take back everything I just said. You suck. Love you too, punk. You head outside and make your way across town. A short while later, you arrive on the docks. Tom, Danny, Parker, and Imogen are waiting when you get there. Tom says, Yo! Hey, have you guys been here long? Just got here, Parker says. No sign of the mysterious Order of Mystery yet, Danny says. As if on cue, the fog rolls aside, revealing Astrid at the end of the pier. I'm glad you all made it. Whoa, how long have you been standing there? Geez, Mom, spooky much? What's the point of leading a secret society if you can't be a little spooky now and then? Parker clears his throat. So what exactly is on the agenda for tonight? Parker asks. The others will arrive shortly, then Imogen's initiation ritual will begin, Astrid says. But before that, I need you all to swear to secrecy. You must promise to never repeat what happens tonight. What's going to happen? You're going to make an offering to the power, and if it's accepted, you'll be granted a gift. Whoa, Tom says. So you mean Imogen is going to get a spooky superpower too, like telekinesis or heat vision? Astrid smiles and says something like that. Dwight says, Astrid, this seems sketchy. I still don't trust you people. Dwight? No, it's alright. After everything you've been through, I can hardly blame you. I doubt if there's anything I could say that will make you trust us. All I'm asking for is the chance to show you. Parker says, that's the same thing Kelly said. Danny says, well, I'm just as skeptical as Dwight, so whatever's going down tonight is going to have to be pretty damn convincing. Tom nods toward the water, and you all turn to find a yacht gliding out of the fog. Hooded figures line the rails like ravens. Astrid says, shall we? After you, Dwight says. Astrid and Imogen start down the dock. The rest of you exchange careful glances and then follow after them. You all climb aboard, and the yacht sets sail, drifting through fog so thick you can't even see the shore. A few minutes later, the hooded society members gather on deck. Vincent steps through the crowd, smiling at Imogen in her set of fresh robes. Hello, dear. How are you feeling? I know this must all seem very strange and scary. That's putting it mildly. Astrid places a hand on Imogen's shoulder. There's still time to back out. We won't be upset if you decide you can't do this. I don't even know what this is. You're going to say a few words, then make a small sacrifice to the power. When you say sacrifice... Imogen glances toward the rest of you, alarmed. Vincent and Astrid break out laughing. Oh God, no, nothing like that. Astrid says, just a tiny prick of your finger, dear. Oh, so we gotta give them a drop of blood? Oh, wow. Okay. So what happens after that? Dwight asks. If the power rejects Imogen, nothing. If it accepts her, she'll be given a gift and the responsibility to use it. Across the deck, the society ranks part to reveal Chief Kelly. He clears his throat. It's time. Imogen, are you ready? Imogen nervously smooths the front of her robe. Expression conflicted. She looks to you for guidance. Oh. Personally, I don't think she should do this. So I'm gonna say it. Don't do this. What? Ignoring the murmurs around you, you step closer, lowering your voice to whisper urgently to her. This is all happening way too fast. I don't care what they say. I don't trust these people. This is a bad idea. Dwight, I understand what you're saying. Believe me, I do. But I trust my parents. They wouldn't do anything to hurt me. If this can help protect other people and make sure what happened to Kyle never happens to anyone else, I have to do it. And if it goes wrong, you can say, I told you so. I hope I won't have to. Imogen takes a deep breath and then turns to face Chief Kelly. I'm ready. Then step forward. Astrid takes Vincent's hand. The society members stare down from the rails. You all watch as Imogen joins Kelly at the prow of the ship. Imogen Westcott, are you prepared to join our society and bind yourself to the power that lives beneath? I am. Kelly reaches into his cloak and produces something. It looks like a needle. Your friends converse in hushed voices. What is that thing? Tom asks. I have no idea, Parker says. Danny says, it's called a marlin spike. Old nautical tool. They're used for doing things with ropes and knots, tying, cutting, splicing together. So, what's Imogen gonna splice? Tom asks. The marlin's spike's sharpened point glitters in the moonlight as Imogen takes it from Kelly along with a folded slip of paper. What am I supposed to do? Hold the spike out over the water and recite the words on the paper. When you read the last line, prick the tip of your finger with the point of the spike and then drop it. That's it? Kelly silently motions to the rail. Imogen walks to the rail of the ship and begins to read. Power of the ancient trees, I come to thee in supplication. Her voice echoes out over the water as the silhouette of the dam looms into view through the fog. Power of the earth and stone, I seek to form a covenant. Orange lights burn brightly, casting strange shapes in the silvery clouds all around you. Power of the flame and shadows, I humbly ask to be your vessel. Make me one with the trees. The dam lights pulse. With earth and stone, the fog shapes dance. With flame and shadow, you feel a static charge in the air as Imogen pricks the tip of her finger, wincing slightly, and reads the final line. Make me one with the power. As the final word leaves Imogen's lips, the marlin spike rips from her grasp, shooting into the water like a dart. Why do I get the feeling this isn't going to go down well? I know. And from beneath the boat, a blue-green light begins to grow. Check it out! She gets powers! Love it. As the light subsides, Imogen meets your eyes, her face shining with wonder. Imogen? How do you feel? Dr. Wallace is like, wow, she's so pretty. I feel good. Really good. Maybe the best I've ever felt in my life. I don't know how to describe it. Well, I do, Chief Kelly says. Kelly lifts Imogen's arm like a boxer. The power has accepted her. Cheers of approval sweep the boat as Astrid and Vincent step forward, pulling their daughter into a tight hug. Well done, Astrid says. Vincent says, we're so proud of you. Imogen wipes her brow, legs shaking, as the whole family turns to you beaming. Tom says, so what happens now? Now we could finish this. Astrid absently runs her fingers through Imogen's hair, voice soft with affection. Tomorrow marks the occasion of the Lake Day Festival. It's the 50th anniversary of the founding of Pine Springs. It's also a day of special significance to the power. The boundaries will be thinner, and the creature in the lake will be vulnerable. Vincent takes a step toward you. After the celebration tomorrow, we'll return to this spot and perform one more ritual, and lay the spirit in this lake to rest once and for all. Chapter 9 is complete. Tom is coping. Imogen is coping. Parker's coping. Danny's still on edge. Dwight is coping. 321 of 500. Yes, we gained more, and we're coping now. All of us.